And
Hello.
we're here. We're live. We're alive.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Maybe like one.
Yeah. Just one.
Just one.
We
Okay.
ended the stream and now we're here again. We've been in cryostasis the entire time.
We never left, actually.
Someone swapped out our clothes though while we were asleep.
That's really the only
really
thing.
weird.
That's the only thing that changed, though.
Yeah.
You would think that there had been like other things, but
Well, someone put up this Kirby thing above me.
yeah, I don't know where that came from.
No.
But I'm glad that we've now exited cryostasis in order for us to do the only thing we know how to do, which is play video games.
Yes.
Which I should probably start the timer again. So now we start over. We hit new.
Yeah. No, I'm just getting us loaded back up to
Yeah,
where we
come on,
were.
please. I'm begging you. We have so much.
There we go. We did it.
All right. Well, we have a lot to do and a lot of game in front of us and a lot to talk about, especially if we are
Oh, wait, me.
at least tentatively. Oh, yeah.
I gotta back out because.
We got the players wrong.
Whoa, Einstein!
Oh, I forgot about this.
Take us out of here.
Yeah, I got
All
it.
right, now do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't enter. It's because I'm already there.
Yeah, I mean, we have to do it in this order because we've color
gotta,
coordinated
yeah.
the mics.
Exactly.
It's correct right now.
All right, start us up, Sean.
Okay. And then
Back
we'll-
in Zelda canon,
Yeah.
Charizard.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, I didn't realize Pokemon Trainer didn't have his Pokemon. I guess he only had Squirtle.
Yeah, that's 100% it. Like, he
Oh.
doesn't have his Pokemon, and we're going. His whole plot line is that we have to go catch his Pokemon.
I'm really glad this is just a side plot.
Yeah, because if I do
Down B.
yeah, nothing.
So,
Okay, we have a lot to talk about, apparently.
Yeah, let's talk about the not big stuff first,
Yeah.
because that'll be the most of the stream. First thing top of mind, they have announced the full roster for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Oh, yeah. I actually did want to know what, like...
That roster's crazy. Previously, they had announced it was going to be like 160 something characters.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, and so it was already going to be big, right? Which is actually like on par for like the last released Budokai game. So it's not like the most absurd being a spiritual successor to that. But if you've seen the like honeycomb pattern like roster image that they keep updating for any of those reveals, it just like expanded, and they're like, actually no, it's like 183 characters.
183 characters?
Yeah, because the other characters are all the movie characters. So they're like, yeah, we don't care about just the canon stuff. You're getting it all. You want Freezer? Get him.
I need to see this
Not
roster.
Freezer, Cooler.
Yeah, cooler. I need to see this roster.
You do. It's kind of crazy. Just the amount of stuff. And there's some cool things too. There's not really much in OG Dragon Ball, and by really much, I mean there's literally just Kid Goku.
Wait,
That's it.
what? They're only pulling from Z and Super?
Z onwards, yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah, that's like the only bad part. But again, it's like 183 characters, so like I can't really blame them. Dragon Ball is a lot nowadays.
It is.
And the pre-order bonus is you get Goku from the new show that's coming out, Daima. That airs in October. Oops. Goodbye. Let me not stand over here while I wait for the camera to... Uh-oh. Okay. And some of the like DLC content is going to be further characters from Daima, I guess, as those actually.
What is that? I actually didn't know there's a new show.
So Dragon Ball Daima is kind of interesting. Oh, I'm glad I worked. It is a new show.
Yeah.
It was completely done by Toriyama and everything before he passed. So it is like you know, as official as it can get. But it is basically a side plot story that's not supposed to be that big, that is set in between Z and Super. So we're not allowed to like move forward in timelines.
Apparently not. I don't remember what happens at the end of Super. I don't remember if he like...
The current latest thing in Super, animated wise, is Superhero.
Oh, and I haven't seen that yet. That's so that's what I'm missing.
Yes, the manga apparently has a lot of other stuff that could fill out like more of the show if they did more in the show. But like none of that's in like the new
The new
game.
New game or anything like that.
No, nothing. It's all like stuff that has been animated is in the game. But yeah, Daima is a new animated thing that takes place in between Z and Super, where they go to the demon world.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably the same place they go to in like OG Dragon Ball.
Pretty
like that side.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like that one episode where Goku's like, yeah, I'll go in this door and see what happens. And then murders the Demon King and like, all right, I'm done. I did it. I think it's the Devil World. Not the Demon World. Either way, it looks interesting because it's everyone in like very chibi forms. So you get to see this like weird like chibi kid Vegeta kind of look. You know, them basically always needing to use that OG Dragon Ball Goku design wherever they can. But this is like, you know, it's very similar to like GT feel, where like, you know, you're seeing a kid Goku turn like all the Super Saiyans.
That's an interesting approach. I didn't even know that they were doing that. The chibi art style was probably what would have.
So it's not the entire. It's like the main cast becomes like kid chibi. There are like non-chibi, normal-looking characters. It's just like the main cast. So I think they showed off like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, all like getting kid-like chibi kind of looks, like OG Dragon Ball Goku look.
All right. The good news is now, if we die, then, or if I die, then
it'll bring us here at least.
I was just worried from a. What is this? I don't remember, like at all.
I don't remember most of this. It's him. I don't remember any of our pre-established canon. I just know he's turning them into NFTs.
That is true. Yes, he is turning them into NFTs. Look, we'll find the canon. Yeah. I'm confident that we will.
Which I think we previously described right is a pseudonym for, or I guess synonym.
If you run it again, sorry, it should work now. Sorry, I have failed you, Conrad.
Oh shit, I'm Squirtle.
Oh yeah, you pressed. Oh no. Oh no, this is awful.
No, this is great.
No, I hate this.
I like Squirtle.
I hate Lucas. No.
I love Lucas. I love Smash Brothers. What a great game. I showed you off stream, but I put up my shelf again. And doing something like that and having to unwrap every single Smash Brothers character really puts it into perspective of how much is in Smash Brothers nowadays. I also just like remembering, like, oh yeah, I have like a Nintendo official little Banjo-Kazooie figure that sits on my shelf, which is just cool.
Thanks for reminding me, by the way. I still need to do my yearly playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet.
We still got some year left.
We have plenty of year left. I gotta.
But yeah, you gotta do it.
But hi, Conrad.
You're not allowed to play Banjo-Kazooie until you play Mario Eclipse.
I'm not allowed to play Banjo-Kazooie or Mario Eclipse until I play the first Ace Attorney game.
And Astro Bot.
And Astrobot?
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you about Astrobot. I'm curious about your opinions on it. It's not long. It's like a 10-hour game.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Never
No,
mind.
yeah, it's not. Eclipse will take you a little bit because you have to play through all of normal Sunshine and also all of the content it adds.
Uh-oh. Wario's an NFT.
Oh yeah, which stands for Nintendo Figure Toy, right?
Yes, that is correct. I'm see, look, it's coming back to us.
Yeah. I don't know if we previously established that.
No, we definitely did. And if you didn't get that, then you need to go back to the previous VOD.
Watch the entire 2-hour, 30-minute
VOD. And then once you've determined where it is in the VOD, then you can comment on this VOD.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Wow,
look at DDD appreciating his NFTs.
I also need to dust off my NFTs.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I forgot DD has like a character arc in this whole game.
He does. You have to remember, Sakurai is biased towards his characters.
Yeah, he really likes Kirby characters.
He likes his
Which,
He
to
likes.
be fair, Sakurai, I also really like Kirby characters.
Well, he's also biased towards the Kid Icarus characters.
Yeah, because he revived them.
Well, the fact of the
They were
matter,
dead.
the fact of the matter is, as much as I am a fan of the Kid Icarus and Kid Icarus Uprising, I think we can both defend.
Sean, you're not a fan of Kid Icarus Uprising. You haven't played it.
I'm a fan of its existence.
Okay.
I think we can both definitively say that it does not deserve 3 characters on the Smash Brothers roster.
I think I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree. I think Palutena is cool, especially if you've played Uprising, because all of her moves are moves you would unlock for Pit. And the whole point of Uprising is all the powers you're taking are Palutena's powers that she is granting you. So it's a really cool way to represent that. So here's my take on it, Sean. I think the franchise deserves 2 characters, and I think I want Nintendo to prove that it deserves 2 characters by finally remastering Kid Icarus Uprising and letting people play it and see how good of a game it is.
I think I'm just going to be Kirby.
Or, do anything else with the
No, wait.
franchise to continue proving that it's a good franchise. Speaking of which, I'm going to play Pit. Because I think Pit is one of my favorite Nintendo characters. So I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah.
You have a lot of these other AAA companies that have their kind of bread and butter nowadays in narrative focused games and less, I'd say, gameplay focused games. Sony, you've got your Last of Us's and your Uncharted's and God of War's and Horizon Zero Dawn. They're very narrative focused. So some of those are definitely more the gameplay side than others.
Yeah, I was going to say
Horizon and God of War are pretty big on gameplay.
But if you were to tell me Last of Us is anything other than a playable movie, I would laugh at you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I need to actually play them.
They have gameplay.
Proper.
They have gameplay in them, but the gameplay very much, in my opinion, is an excuse for the story to exist.
Yeah. But basically, getting to the point of it is, I think Nintendo doesn't have much of that, right? A lot of the AAA audience nowadays for those companies is those. There is a market for it. But Nintendo doesn't really have much currently that taps into the market, and I feel like
I have no idea where it's about to spawn us.
I don't know. Up there. I wish it would spawn you back. Okay, there you go.
All right. Too bad.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Don't forget there's an emote for that now.
That's true. But basically what I'm getting at is I think Nintendo does have those franchises. They just need to make games in them. I was just thinking about it just now. like I had that thought earlier, and I was trying to think through examples, and Kid Icarus is perfect for it because Uprising is like the most narrative Nintendo game out there, I think. Like, it's got fully voice acted, like, everything to it.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly hearing dialogue and story and stuff, and it's, like, blended in really well with the gameplay. And, and the story services that, like, hey, here's some cool scenarios to put you through to make, like, levels cool and cinematic and, fun. So I think Kid Icarus could do more to try to tackle that, like, more narrative.
I'm very
curious.
I'm curious if Nintendo even has an appetite for that kind of game in the first place. That's my only counter to that, is because Nintendo just has been so traditionally a.
So
you understand what I'm getting at.
I get where you're getting at, but there's a couple nuances to that I think is really interesting. So right now, I told you off stream, but I just finished playing the Famicom Detective Club games. That I looked them up. They're like 35 years old, Sean. That franchise had not had a game in over 30 years, longer than I've been alive. Which is like crazy. That's a really long time to just not do anything with the franchise, and revive them, and make a whole new third entry. And those are, by definition, narrative games because they're like visual novels. So I think there is like an appetite for narrative focuses and stuff.
That's a good point. I didn't have Famicom Detective Club on my bingo card, basically.
I would have never in a million years thought that franchise would ever see anything again. The only reason I even knew of the franchise's existence was Smash Bros. Melee. They have a trophy for Ayumi Tachibana, who is your like partner character. Which, fun fact, the reason why they have her as a character and not your character, like the actual person you're playing, that is because your character doesn't have a name. You give them a name in those games.
Oh, goodness. This room.
I know. This whole level is like kicking us. Yeah, I think that's why, because they were probably didn't know what to name the trophy if they were to like do a thing for the actual protagonist. Oh, well, rest in peace.
That's fine.
But the other game too is they also just remastered another code, like the game from DS and Wii.
Oh,
another Code Recollection. That is also a very narrative focused.
I forgot about that.
2 games. So it's interesting, and now they're also going back to story-focused Mario RPGs, and we're going really hard on those again.
That is true as well. Okay, fair enough.
So I think I would have agreed with you during the Wii U. Nowadays, I see a shift in Nintendo a little bit.
They have
back towards story in their games.
They seem, you're right. No, that's a really good, those are all very good points. They seem to have more of an appetite for it than they ever have.
Yeah. So I'm really, really curious to see. There has been a rumored Kid Icarus Uprising like remaster for a while, like, headed by, I think, Bandai Namco is the...
I mean, that's generally... They like to use Bandai Namco as just a support studio anyway.
Yeah.
And Bandai Namco is who's helping with Smash right now. So if Sakurai has any involvement in that,
exactly, like they already have a close relationship. And so I'm really hoping that like Turn of the Switch 2 that we see a lot more of that, because I think, like I said, there's. Nintendo has already proven that they can do a really good middle ground with Uprising, and I want to see them do more.
I do just want Uprising on Switch. I don't want to break out my 3DS to play any game anymore at this point.
It's hard to.
Like there just aren't games that I know of that. Are you just gonna rush through?
I'm just gonna rush.
Okay.
It's gonna deal 5% of damage to him. Like hell, even hitting that switch, I don't think is even worth it.
This one is.
Yeah, this one actually has to start the.
I wish a new Eternal Darkness or a remaster of it was possible.
Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness is the horror game on the GameCube by Nintendo.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
Yeah, so did Nintendo. That is a game I would love to see how they would remaster. So much of the scares in that game are meta. And you have to recontextualize them in the modern age.
Is it kind of like how,
Like
in
one of-
Metal Gear with Psycho Mantis, like a lot of his shenanigans
Yes,
don't work anymore?
Yeah, it's very similar to that. So like one of the things they would do
Yep.
is when your sanity got low enough, it would like pause the game, go into the menu. We gotta run back though. That's fine, I'll die, and you'll survive somehow. Oh, never mind.
This is bonus. To the right is the end of the level.
Oh, do we want to do bonus?
We'll figure out what it is, and if it's bad, then we'll leave. Oh, it's a trophy.
Wow, it's bad. It wasn't Zelda. That's all we're here for.
Oh.
See if he's here. No, I'm also dead, I think.
I have no idea where you are right now.
I'm gone. What the fuck?
No, I know you weren't.
What the hell
I
happened
didn't
to
see
me?
your health bar vanish.
Well, I know that's what I was saying. Like, I'm gone. Like, I didn't know what happened to me because I did the up B. I didn't grab the ledge.
All right, if you get to the good boat, it's the level. This is a trend in the second half of the game. Is the level ends when all the sun rays are right here,
Oh, I see.
or God rays is what they're called.
The God rays.
No, Mario, please. It's just an NFT. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah. She's not real. Bowser died.
See, what the heck? Why did Bowser just have his?
Remember when Bowser spoke words? That was a good
I
time.
miss when Bowser had dialogue.
I do too. They tried narrative out for 2 seconds in the Mario series, and they're like, yeah, no, we're good. We don't actually want to hear people talk and like do things.
Oh wait, hold on. We have more edgy robots.
More lore. It's so interesting to me, this world they have constructed for this, because it's not like a Nintendo property world. It's just like some generic world that just so happens to like have the characters in it.
And some of the settings too.
Like kinda.
I mean, kinda, yeah, but
Like we talked earlier about like, oh, we're just in a zoo
that is true.
that we couldn't tell was from anything.
The zoo we couldn't tell.
And we were in the clouds generically. And we were in a coliseum generically.
Although above the clouds there was like a temple opening up, and then Pit
Yeah.
fell from that.
And it was kind of kidicracy.
Funnily enough, the devs for Eternal Darkness also helped with the remake of MGS.
Ah, oh yeah.
That is actually kind of ironic.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Oh, I'm glad that we have this selection screen.
Yeah, it doesn't pop us in with like a little cutscene beforehand. We're just
No, we're just gonna
going
be
right on in.
We're just in it at this point.
Okay. I'm here. I'm in it. There's something else I was gonna leave for the stream to discuss. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, on this topic, you mean specifically? Or
The
just
narrative one, or
The narrative one, yeah.
no? No, that was pretty much all.
I mean, the
So it's a
entirety
narrative one.
of the reason why I was gone for a few weeks.
Well, that was a thing, but I don't remember what the other said thing is. So yeah, we can talk about your trip.
The Switch 2 specs.
Oh. Wait. Alright, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think we have to get out of the water. I think we'll drown after a second.
Okay.
You kill him, and then we're just gonna watch as the door closes in front of us and we die or something.
I'm sure it's just gonna reopen. We're gonna find out. So anyway, the Switch 2 specs.
Yeah, let me get... No, so this isn't... You misunderstand what this is, Sean.
Oh, there's a button. That's...
Oh, okay, perfect. I'll just hit the mic. I'm sure that was great. Okay, so this isn't technical specs for the Switch. There you go. I've moved past the button.
cool.
Right here is fine.
Right here is fine. We're not gonna...
Or I'll die. Oh, no. That doesn't
Yeah, we're good.
No, this isn't technical specs for the Switch, Sean. This is... There is a new firmware update for the current Switch that has things that point towards what we could expect for the Switch 2.
Oh.
So I'm going to read this verbatim, and I want to see if you pick up anything of what I'm saying.
Okay.
In the version 18.0.0 of the firmware currently available on Nintendo Switch, there are strings of code which contain instructions that indicate Nintendo is preparing its operating system to identify the compatibility of games between consoles. As explained by user Pokemaniac on Famaboards, specifically the update seems to have added support for a new type of mount point, parentheses, basically a way of exposing system files to games, classified as, quote, compat. Among some of the hypotheses raised by the user himself for the extra strings are the following: higher quality graphics resources for Switch 2, shader caches both for the developer and Nintendo itself, protection for certain critical Switch 2 files against piracy or emulator developers. He also speculates Nintendo might use unified file systems for cross-gen games, and they could be used to emulate the PlayStation Xbox approach by making some files available contextually.
I mean, all that makes sense to me.
That was the whole thing.
So yes, they are preparing for a
Some sort of backwards compatibility thing with the OS.
yes, there will be some level of backwards compatibility and cross compatibility.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Which is exciting.
Instead of trying to invent something completely holistically new.
Now, past that though, while you were gone, there were some leaks around, like what it looks like. To the point where allegedly people have full 3D scans and have 3D printed them.
Oh, that's kind of intense. Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
There's only one thing I've heard about this while I was gone, which was
Yeah, you let me know what you know, and I'll let you know.
that the Joy-Cons might be magnetic now.
Yes, that has been rumored for a while now. That the Joy-Cons don't slide; they just attach.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it'd be pretty sturdy.
I'm trying to figure out what that noise was.
That kink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I was like, you weren't reacting to it, so I assume it's something you know about.
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, I can go check it real quick, but the problem is you have no agency, so you're just going to be waiting here for a minute.
Yeah, I'll just kill these guys. Where's Eddie? Alright guys, I'm gonna kill Sean. Just to make it. Can I actually? Oh, okay, I'm not gonna push you any forward. Okay, we're gonna look at Lucas's taunts, if I remember how to use them. He can trip, he can think, and he can talk to a snake. Just gonna keep making him trip. So this is the game of tripping. Activating this snake taunt, though, is very hard. Because you have to hit two buttons together at the same time.
Sean died.
Yeah, Sean's dead. It's just me, and I can't continue by myself. No, he's checking out something. He like heard a noise and wanted to. Go look into it.
Okay.
Another
push
leak
you to
from
the
a new
edge.
ceiling.
No, 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 no. Don't put that energy into the
No.
world. No, I think it was I was either the soup left over, the top of it popped
I
in
invoked it.
because it was like it's cooling down,
Okay.
or it's the dishwasher. And the
Gotcha.
dishwasher's on, and so something in it moved.
Okay.
Conrad, I can't money.
Downward.
I can't money that right now. Don't wish that on me.
Money. Money. Okay. Switch to
So yeah, magnetic Joy-Cons.
magnetic Joy-Con,
and-
USB-C port, top and bottom,
Oh,
which people don't know if it's just for charging or if they're gonna add in some peripherals
or both potentially.
or both. Yeah.
Because I mean, like part of the USB-C spec when it's used for charging is that it's pretty much like everything.
Yeah. But
What I was gonna say, pretty much every
those both
implementation
sound
where you
good.
can charge the USB-C ports is that all the ports on the console or all the ports on the device should allow for charging.
yeah,
It's kind of like how we have with our MacBooks.
gotcha. But yeah, so and people, I think there's like a patent or something that Nintendo had done around like what people think is like a screen attachment. So we might be getting like Nintendo DS NSO through the use of a
Through like a DS, like a second screen attachment, basically.
yeah, like using that Top-C or USB-C port.
That would be bizarre.
It'd be bizarre and it'd be very Nintendo.
It would be extremely Nintendo, and I'm also super here for it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool way to do it. Do we need to go up?
No, I think this is the whole
Oh,
point.
this is
I
side.
think it's side content.
Oh, okay. So I don't remember all the technical specs, but the idea is generally it will operate somewhere between a PS4 and a PS4 Pro with like without like DLSS, but you know it's NVIDIA tech, so it's going to have DLSS and probably be
Closer to that of a PS4 Pro.
yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. Like base without DLSS, like the actual technical specs put it somewhere in the range of a PS4, PS4 Pro. Then using DLSS, it would go to like an Xbox Series S in terms of like how it looks and feels. So basically, like low end of current generation.
I mean, that's pretty good on its own, because that means you're getting decent graphics at 4K.
Yes, and it's very good for Nintendo, who have been kind of stuck a little bit. Like, the Switch is better than the Wii U, but not like by a ton, because they had to go from console hardware to handheld hardware. Take that. So this is going to be a huge leap for Nintendo. And they're already doing some pretty cool stuff on the Switch itself. I mean, like, the Xenoblade games look gorgeous.
That's ultimately my hope, is that it doesn't take much, or like that it will run games that currently don't run as well better
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
without a significant amount of buy-in needed from the developer for it to run better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a couple games that I think could work good out of the box. It really depends on how to do it. and how, you know, like with like what we're doing right now, we're playing on the Wii U, but it's like emulating a Wii. I'm hoping it doesn't try to emulate a Switch and instead just lets it like, you know, run uncapped kind of thing, right? Because so like Xenoblade 2 already internally runs uncapped, and it's actually like limited by the hardware. Button. Oh, I see.
I failed.
That top button does the second door.
Yep. That is not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. It's stuck.
Go. We made it. I'm sorry.
Button mashing.
Whoops.
No. Button mashing.
I'm gonna go back in again because I actually want that part.
I know, that's what it suggests. Button mashing out. So the Switch 2, at least from what is currently rumored.
Do we care about this trophy?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Currently seems pretty neat. I'm excited.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
I know it's. I can't open door. It has to be your fault. It could be no one else's.
Why does Ivysaur not go up?
He's too big. Play Squirtle. Squirtle is immobile.
I will play Squirtle. I'm very curious to see how the magnetic Joy-Cons will
How they feel.
Yeah.
I imagine they're going to feel a whole hell of a lot better than the current Joy-Con do on the Switch. There's a lot of times where they feel very flimsy when attached. Like they don't, like you can like move them back and forth kind of like this.
Yeah, I'm just worried that if there's not like a latch or some
There
kind.
is.
There was still a latch.
Yeah, the actual, you know how they have the button, the release button on the back of the
It would
Joy-Con?
still be there.
There's still one there, but it's like way bigger. There's also another button next to like where the share button is. There's another button down there on the right.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. It's also bigger.
The whole thing?
Yeah, like a good bit bigger.
Watch out.
Like, you know the size difference between like the Switch and the Switch Lite?
Mm-hmm.
Think about like half of that, but bigger. Like, I think it's going from, it's like a 6-inch screen to like an 8-inch screen.
Oh. Well, I know that they're just going to have less of a bezel on it, too. So
Yeah.
that'll account for some of it. I just didn't realize the whole thing was
it's
physically bigger, too.
Yeah, at least from what's been seen. It looks a good bit bigger. Like, I think it's got the same thickness, but it's like scaled up. But I'm excited to see more. But now the real fun of why you've been gone for so long.
Oh, yeah.
After this, we gotta learn our Zelda lore.
That is true.
Oh man, it's this guy. He's in Smash Ultimate.
I love the voice acting in this. It really is the best in the series.
Who do you want to be?
Yeah, who do you want?
I don't care.
You mean you don't care between Marth and Ike?
Not really. I'll be Mirth. All right, where are you moving?
So yeah, I left the country for like 2 weeks.
That's cool. That's it. That's the conversation.
That's the whole conversation we were gonna save for.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the United Kingdom for 2 weeks, which was incredibly fun and incredibly cool. There's so many things that are different about that we're not expecting to be different.
Yeah, between the UK and America.
Between the UK and the United States.
America.
And America. And the land of the free.
Yeah. And the home of the brave.
The home of the Braves.
Yeah.
The sports team.
So, what was different?
So what was different?
Surprising.
It's gonna be like a collection of small things that I find like really
I have
interesting.
a great segue from that, and I'm gonna forget when we're done talking about the trip.
I mean, if you want to segue right now, I'll come back to the trip.
There's a new game that came out that is high on my radar that I want to try.
Okay.
It's called UFO 50.
UFO 50?
I don't know if you've seen it.
Not at all.
Are you a fan of Spelunky?
I haven't played Spelunky, but it looks cool.
The developers of Spelunky have made a game called UFO 50. It is a collection of 50 games that they've made that is mimicking old arcade/retro games. And the whole thing of it is it's a collection of 50 games unearthed by a developer, like by a company that made these 50 games in fiction. And it is a collection of those 50 games by that fictional game developer.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So there's like meta lore to it of like you are playing
And then
a fake collection of games.
And you know there's going to be like other stuff to it as well. Like there's going to be like...
And it basically like the gist of it that I think is interesting about it is it mimics that idea of you went to a yard sale and you just found like a box of video games and you don't know anything about them and you're just playing them.
Is this out?
Yeah.
I'll buy this game and play it tonight.
Out, like last week.
Some of them support co-op.
Some of them are multiplayer. Like it's a pretty wide variety of genres and stuff. And everything I've seen on it looked really cool. Everything I've heard about it makes it seem even cooler than that. So yeah, a very, very neat idea for a game. And it's made by a developer that has a good track record.
Yeah, no kidding. That's an incredibly cool idea.
Yeah. All right, back to your collection of small things that you want to talk about.
Yes, so my collection... The collection of small things I want to talk about from like that were interestingly different in the United Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Well, one, they drove on the wrong side of the road, which we already know about.
That's true.
But
good to remember.
They use a collection of so for example, they use 12. They use like standards are weird there. So like whenever you're trying to explain time, like 50% of the time it's in 24 hour and 50% of the time it's in 12 hour, and there's seemingly no rhyme or reason to it at all.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Another thing I thought was really weird, but this is just because in the United States, we're very car dependent here.
Yes.
There was no road that I saw in the entirety of the time I was there that had more than 4 total lanes across both sides.
It's pretty good.
Which was,
I imagine y'all went to some. Did you go to like bigger cities?
I mean, we were in London for a good chunk of it. So yes,
the biggest one.
The biggest one, as well as we were in Edinburgh as well. So
gotcha. Yep. Okay, nice.
Amongst actually several others, we did a lot more. We did a lot of traveling between cities. We would do like a day trip for in a particular city.
Okay, nice.
and we still explored like different boroughs of London as well.
Yeah, like Eden.
Like, but like, okay, back to the small things because I really want to talk about the small things. Okay, so something that I did not realize was a thing, and I've been told that this is a thing in all of Europe. Apparently, it's not exclusive to the UK. Contactless payment was the only way to pay for most things.
Really?
They had
pretty cool.
like I took out cash just like you and I did for our Japan trip, and it was entirely unnecessary. There was no reason for me to have cash whatsoever.
Nice. Not nice.
Well, oh, you're teleporting again.
I guess so, yeah. I guess when we both die, only you die. Which is interesting too. Oh, it just teleported us to the end.
Yeah, this is great. Actually.
That works. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that was actually perfect.
Yeah.
So like everything. When I say everything was contactless, I really mean everything. Even like the penny pressing, like they might have a penny pressing machine in a museum.
Yeah,
that had
tap to pay.
It had tap to pay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it just had blanks in the thing. Like it was that level of contactless. The subway and all the trains and everything also contactless, and instead of it requiring some special card, it was normal Google Pay.
Okay, nice.
It was just normal, and they have it set up so that way you tap on your way in, and I think it puts like a 0 hold, and then you tap on your way out, and it recognizes how much to charge you for that distance.
That's cool.
So you didn't have to do anything special. Which, honestly, fantastic. 10 out of 10.
I like not having to think.
So I was a huge fan of that. Let's see. So the traffic lights were had an interesting.
Traffic lights.
Yes.
Okay.
The traffic lights were interesting.
Yeah.
So two things. So one, whenever it was changing. So like here in the United States, there's only ever one light on at a time. You have green, then yellow, then red, and then it goes back to green, straight from red to green. Over there, though, it would be green and then go green, yellow, and then red, and then it would be red, yellow, then green. So it would warn you that it's about to change from red to green, as well as warning you that it's about to go from green to red.
Weird.
Which I actually appreciate in thinking about it, because there's so much time is wasted just like people
just
realize, like, oh wait, I'm supposed to go.
So for your entire trip, did you have like a rental car?
No.
Using for a lot of
no, we never
did full public transportation.
Full public transportation, was able to get everywhere in the country.
Nice.
The only time we were in an actual car, the entirety of the trip was towards the end of the trip. We did a tour of the Scottish Highlands, which were breathtaking, unreal.
Nice.
But that was like a mini tour bus, like one of those like vans turned into a bus kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But somebody else was driving us around for that. Like that was a paid tour thing. But no, public transportation got us every single place we needed to go.
That's cool.
There was no need for us to have a car, which is kind of what I was alluding to earlier.
I do need you to.
I'm doing my best, and that's the problem.
Do you know how to block?
No.
Do you want
Hence
me
why
to go
their
get my
roads
nunchuck?
are only up to 4 lanes.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no need for anything anymore. Yeah. So figure out how to block on your controller. Okay, do that.
Can you do me a favor and do that?
Okay, so back to any other.
So yes, that's why it's like people just use public transportation. We didn't end up taking like an actual bus, although buses were. I got both of us.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because I blocked it and it killed my my shield. I got stunned.
Oh, that'll actually be great for me.
How is the public transportation?
Give me a moment.
You dialing in?
I was trying to dial in for a moment because we can't be on this boss fight forever.
We can.
We can, I guess. That's true.
We're proving it. I'll believe in us, our collective.
It's fine. We chose this difficulty at the beginning of the game.
What did we choose?
We chose it was the medium of the difficulties.
Oh, why didn't we just do very easy?
Well, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't think we can.
We can change it.
We can change it?
I think we can.
No, we should do that.
Yeah, we should absolutely do that.
I don't.
Until you finish
This doesn't
retelling
need
your
to be.
tales.
This doesn't need to have friction to it.
Yeah, no, this is not the point of this game.
No.
Maybe with what we thought that I was better at video games than I actually was.
I should have known better. I think played all these multiplayer games with you now.
I'm gonna dial in for a moment.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Oh no, you're here for
What
me.
the? I'm actually what the fuck?
Yeah, I haven't died yet. Or I've only died once. I haven't died.
Yeah,
twice.
well that's why. Because I thought I died twice. Oh, weird. All right, we did it.
All right.
We got a sticker for our trouble.
We'll go find you.
Public transportation.
Okay, yes. So, I mean, the public transportation was great. We basically had, it was a similar setup to what we experienced in Japan, where you had all these different subway lines and everything that you could then, train lines you could take throughout the different boroughs of London, and there were tons, and they were pretty much, like, they were all typically at the station within a few minutes of one another.
Okay.
So you never had to like really wait too long. So it was super easy to get around.
Before you continue to the next thing, how do we change the difficulty on this?
I think it's on here, but
What happens if you do back to...
yeah, I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna
Quit.
go back
Yeah.
in.
Because I don't remember where that is. Did you?
Yeah, because we have this.
Yeah. Okay.
Re-enter. And then
It's not when we pick a level, right?
no, I don't think so. I'm just gonna Google it.
Yeah. Good old Google. Google.
Stages normally use the default difficulty, so the default can't be changed, but the difficulty of a stage can be altered before it is begun. Okay. How?
How do?
You can change difficulty on the level you've played and a new level, except...
Oh, let me see it.
Yeah, I think you read the same thing I just did. You have to go to a previous level, which will let you select it.
Oh. I guess so.
And then it should give us the option to select it going forward. Apparently, it's a thing you have to do one time.
Yeah. That sounds like we have to do.
Save a drive level, exit the game, load again, select easy. Uh-oh.
This one's just saying select an old level. So let's start with that.
Okay.
So just select one of these. And then, yeah, bring his down to easy.
To easy.
Yeah, just put his on... I just want to blast through this. I don't...
What the heck? Well, that's bizarre.
Yeah, it's just us picking, like, between the groupings for replaying that level, I guess. And then we back out. And then go back in. And then...
I don't know if it's back to map or back to other.
Back to map.
And then
select this new level. And let's see.
So you're now doing a lore-focused run, correct?
that is correct.
Yeah, we're
yes.
all about the lore here. We gotta know. It also might help speed up doing this in general, which would be good.
Yeah, we have other multiplayer games to get to.
Yes.
Especially if we're even remotely considering doing Warriors.
I do want to try a Warriors co-op. I think it'd be fun.
I do too. I would very much like to try Warriors co-op.
That's another game where I hope they like the Switch 2 makes it run better.
Oh yeah, that's true too. I wonder, so do we have any idea when the Switch 2 is supposed to, I don't know. Exist?
Not really. That the rumor mill is constantly saying soon, and then it isn't. Currently, the thing is early October.
Is when we will have information.
When we'll have information. The prevailing thing for a while has been like March coming out, same as like the Switch originally did.
I mean, that would make sense.
One thing that is interesting though with it though is normally Nintendo always has a direct in September.
Yeah.
Technically they did, but they had the indie with the third-party one, the partner showcase. So
Yeah,
it wasn't really like a normal Nintendo Direct. They've like basically always had a Nintendo Direct in September for like the entire life of the Switch. So that's where a lot of people are thinking, oh well, maybe that's just what they talk about in September, the normal time frame. But we're getting towards the end of that.
We sure are.
And so if we don't hear anything this week, I imagine it'll probably just be early October if we hear anything soon.
Well, plot's happening.
Wow, Meta Knight. The groups have converged. I like that we get this handshake even though like they've been friends this entire time.
Literally the entire time.
None of these are...
This was not a good stage to tell if we did that on.
No, because there's just a boss fight. This will tell us, actually. That symbol on the save should be good.
Nope.
No, what the hell?
Uh-oh.
The internet lied to me.
Hey, Conrad, can you wanna help us figure out how do we stop being bad?
Yeah, because the thing I read, you could change the difficulty on the level you played a new level. Instead of changing it for new levels, this is an extra step.
What?
Go into an old level and choose a difficulty that isn't what you have on normally, and return back to map immediately, and then choose the new level. It should give you the option to change it after that.
I don't need... we're trying to figure out how to... We're just trying to figure out how to change the difficulty so that way we can play on baby easy mode going forward.
I'm looking.
Oof. Looks like whatever difficulty you selected at the start is set in stone for all future levels. You would need to possibly enter into every level, back out and then may be able to change. Tedious as hell way to do it. There may be a mod that allows on-the-fly difficulty change though, not sure viability of that.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not in the way that we're doing it. Well, that's going to be unfortunate. Why did we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. Why are there people saying that you can change it, but then...
Creation of new game file, player may select game keep track the hardest difficulty level at which each stage has been cleared, and when a stage has been selected, just difficulty higher.
I don't know, because... I don't know, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we can just get good, I guess, but...
Okay, if I have
Yeah,
to.
it's designed for you to go through it on an easier difficulty from the get-go, and then go back and challenge yourself with higher ones.
Yeah, like I get that.
Don't mind me, I'm just asking our AI overlords real quick to see if they have an
Let me
idea.
see your controller while you do that.
Yeah.
I'll poke around in the menus. Some person vaguely just said like, oh yeah, there's something near the swamp. You click and then you do it.
But I guess no one on the dev team thought about wanting to just have a chiller experience.
Not allowed to have chill experiences here. What happens if we quit?
And save.
Yeah.
Toss that in a new file.
No, it still says that there, but maybe, just maybe. So we can just replay the whole thing easy up to that point, Sean.
I mean, if it actually starts kicking our butts, then yes.
Let's see. Let's see if that did anything of any worth. Whoa. Yeah, I do wish the story had more to do with like the actual cows and places from like the franchises.
Yeah,
It could be
I mean,
cool.
it truly plays like a it truly plays like a Nintendo game or like a Kirby game.
Yeah. You can be who's your third, Sean?
I don't care. Apparently yours is Pit.
Is that or Yoshi? I don't like the way Yoshi jumps for platforming.
All right, back to yeah. I mean, public transportation. So public transportation was very similar to the experience you and I had while we were in Japan, where it was very frictionless. Ultimately, it was efficient. Wasn't worried about like when going between cities. It was you just took a longer train.
Yeah,
and that's really it.
it's pretty easy to navigate the stations and stuff. And like,
yes, extraordinarily, actually.
nice. Especially since you can read the main language there.
Yes. Though that being said, it honestly wasn't. It was equal. It was equal in complexity to.
Oh, guy. Sorry, guys, interrupted you.
It was equal in complexity to the Japanese ones. Like, cause once we figured it out, it was trivial.
Yeah.
And there was.
I imagine the barrier to entry, like the barrier to getting comfortable, was a lot lower going to the UK than Japan.
Oh, like getting to a point where you feel comfortable?
Yeah, like comfortable, like walking around, like
Oh yeah.
grasping things and stuff. Because I know, like when we went to Japan, it took like really a day or two, at least to my end, to like get it.
Oh, 100%. That first night was overwhelming.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Especially
Granted,
because like everyone was overwhelmed because of that. I guess we don't actually need that door. That's bonus. We don't care about bonus
we
here.
don't care. We were just trying to. We just spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to lower the difficulty.
Yeah, I know.
Here, I'm just gonna go on this elevator because I think this is the one that wants us on. That I'm shocked that killed you.
I know. There's a lot of things that have not killed me.
You know, that went
Alright.
as expected.
Now it's actually a Kirby game.
MR1 up to that.
Yeah,
Too bad. NFT'd him.
I have NFT. I've converted him.
Like, get the hell out of there.
I'm trying.
I'm watching the soul leave in my body.
I
can watch it on the camera.
I was doing my best, and my best was not good enough, but I was doing it.
I just need you to press the up button.
I was.
Sure.
I was. That's jump for me. That's when you saw me jump right in front of the door.
Oh, sure. That's fair. I was wondering why you're jumping.
Yeah, up for me is jump because I'm playing on the single Wii mode.
It's jump for me too. I should also have a dedicated jump button, which is nice. Yeah, what are some other small things you noticed on the trip? Talked about roads.
Water was getting water at restaurants. I mean, it was very much like pubs, I guess, in particular, but it was similar in the sense that
So just like a water pitcher.
So it wasn't like you go to a table necessarily for it, for the most part. They would just bring you a water pitcher and put it on your table.
That's nice.
Which was fantastic, and really needs to become a thing here. I despise that we apparently as Americans prefer culturally having somebody wait on us. I don't.
I hate it.
I despise it.
I hate it so much.
I went to
It's just not convenient.
While I was in the UK, I went to a McDonald's, and they had fully, at least the one I went to, had it was like the order on terminals kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they had like 20 terminals and then upstairs seating. And that was it. Oh, yes. So that was something that was bizarre. The bathroom in every location I went to, in the entirety of the country, the bathroom was not on the same floor as everything else.
Really? Okay.
It was always below, like in the basement or above, but most of the time below. And it was very odd. Like they had accommodations if you needed it to be able to, if you like, if you could, you can't traverse stairs and all that, right? I'm small and I'm not gonna be able to get over there. Okay.
Go to the door, Sean. Go to the door. I got him at bay.
Go! Go!
Go, go, go. You can hold that for a while.
Yeah. Apparently. So that was fascinating. It's just there's always, like, bathrooms were just always like, oh, if you're looking for the bathrooms, they're downstairs, even though you're on the ground floor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see. So that was on one. I'm gonna lose my mind. So that was an odd thing that I never. The norm at pubs for them. Oh, well, okay. So here's one thing, just in general, that was the norm that I so desperately wish would change here, and probably won't. But there is no universe that exists.
I did it.
There is no universe that exists where they take your credit card from you. They bring the little terminal up to you, and it has the tap to pay on it.
Crazy. What a wild concept.
What a concept that I don't want them to take my credit card and take it to a completely unseen location with all of the information you need to be able to charge it.
There's so many weird oddities with the way things work here that I think it's like fascinating that they don't get questioned more and like changed.
Like, I just don't fundamentally understand why that is necessary in this day and age. And I've been all that's happened is I've been proven of how not necessary it is.
On how like behind the U.S. is and like the modern day quote unquote.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If we died to this again, I'm actually considering maybe restarting and at the easier difficulty might save us more time overall.
Yeah, we can just skip the cutscene and leave last bit if we need to.
Like, because one thing I was reading on the wiki about the difficulty differences is that bulky enemies like this, their health goes up exponentially.
Oh, really?
And so that's one of the biggest differences in the difficulty.
Yeah, we can do it. Let's blast through it. Let's speed run.
We're committing to it?
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck it.
Okay, fuck it. I don't care.
Do quit. You don't want to do back to Matt. You need to quit.
Game
Oh yeah, here's another thing. I was just reminded about.
I will save my progress, and then I will subsequently save over it when we get to it.
Yeah, just reminded me just now that. So there's Sonic Central today,
Sonic Central.
which was their showcase of stuff. There wasn't ultimately anything like too crazy in it.
Oh, do you want to change it so that way you don't have jump on up?
Oh, I don't care. It doesn't
Because
bother
that's
me.
a thing we can change.
It hasn't affected me
Okay.
in any meaningful way since I have a separate jump button.
All right.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
We're playing on
let's
the
go.
correct
Skip
difficult-
it. Skip it.
Let's fucking go.
Let's
Condense
go.
3.5
Let me press the
hours
button.
into 1.5 hours.
Actually, I think that will happen.
Yeah.
I actually think we're gonna if we're not watching the cutscenes.
Yeah, we'll blast through this pretty easy. Fuck him up. Oh wait, I know how to be.
Oh wait, should I? Do I restart the timer?
No,
Okay.
this is funny. Goodbye. I've solved the fight for us.
All right, let's just take notes.
Skip.
Oh yeah. Let's just take notes that we're at 341.
Okay, that is good to know. Sean, you're not skipping enough.
I was working on it. I was going as fast as I can.
Shh. We gotta go.
We.
It doesn't matter who we
Just
pick,
rename
Sean.
the previous VOD as Subspace's tutorial.
Oh
It's like alternate timeline.
yeah, we're playing it now.
If you look at the
Oh,
Zelda
that means we get-
timeline,
Yeah, we got to.
that was the heroes defeated timeline. And now we're on the
Yeah,
maybe we're on the Wind Waker timeline.
we're on the adult timeline.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to be because we'll eventually unlock Toon.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Hey, Sean, here's another thing I thought of today.
Yeah, this is.
And by
so
thought of today, yeah, I know, it's great. So there's a mod for Wind Waker.
Oh, what is it?
It's called The Legend of Goose. And you become Goose.
Goose.
You become Goose.
Not Bruce.
No, not Goose. Goose, as in like the Untitled Goose game. Like Goose. And the whole game has been modified for Sean.
Oh, I forgot what.
A waste of time.
I forgot what we were doing. Sorry.
And we got to skip. We got to speedrun.
Oh yeah, are we? We're. I guess it doesn't matter. Who cares?
No.
This is an alternate timeline. It's fine.
We're going to skip any cutscenes that would be relevant. Yeah, you play as Goose, and apparently it's an alternate universe where, there was the Goose of Legend that defeated Ganon, or, had stood a fight against Ganon, but then, vanished. And so instead of them going, damn, I wish we had a new hero, they're like, we hate geese now. So,
Whoops.
your mentor guy, old man with cane
Yeah.
that you can, go up and, talk to? Or I guess not the one understairs, but the one upstairs.
Yeah.
He just has, a cannon and he's shooting you the entire time while you're on outset. Because he hates geese that much. And when you're given the clothes from Grandma, it's just a hat. You don't get the tunic, you just get a little hat. Yeah, I was brain dead, just going, I gotta get the goodies.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, it's like, no, we can't get the goodies. Goodies are illegal.
No, it's fine. I need the dopamine.
All right. Well, so what's the abbreviated lore, Stuart, of what's going on right now?
Zelda.
This is Zelda. Are we playing as Zelda or are we playing?
Zelda.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Legend.
Who are you? Are you up?
We are all Zelda.
Get the goodie. Get the goodie. You know you.
Oh! It's the Polywog.
I want to replay Pikmin 1 already.
Do it. What's stopping you?
What's
Other than
stopping me is
yourself.
that I need to play Ace Attorney.
Yeah. Societal pressure
Societal pressure from my
to
friends.
enjoy yourself.
I cannot. I've delayed Ace Attorney, and also I owe Zach a playthrough of Tamba right now.
I mean,
Look at the health on that.
I know, it was great. I like this game. This is a good game.
Actually, this is completely turning this around for me.
So, speaking of which, I played the first Ace Attorney Investigations game.
Oh.
Which, as a reminder, that collection is really cool that it even exists. So that game was a DS spinoff off of a major character, Miles Edgeworth, who's normally like anti-hero, like, you know, against you kind of thing. So it was really cool getting like a spinoff where like you're just playing as him, and like Phoenix Wright is just like a background cameo and is never addressed by his name throughout the entire thing. Like, it's just fully Edgeworth.
Which, I mean, I know people love that character.
Yes.
Like, to say they love that character.
Edgeworth is probably one of the best written characters in the entire series. Because he's just really good.
Oh, I think that's side.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like Riku in Kingdom Hearts, where you have this antagonistic force at the beginning kind of mellow out and like, you know, join forces with you in his own way kind of thing. That works really, really well.
I'm really sad we're not playing Kingdom Hearts for the next, like, month.
We're not playing Kingdom Hearts pretty much ever again because it's just watching Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, see what I was talking about, the God Rays. Oh yeah. Because the next you have is 2 sessions of watching mobile game. Then whatever session of watching the next mobile game is. And then probably 20 minutes of you attempting to play a rhythm game. And then either handing it off to me or I show you the 5 minutes of relevant cutscenes that are in that entire game. And that's all we have left of Kingdom Hearts.
We're not playing through the whole rhythm game, you're telling me?
No, what I was saying is we're going to play 20 minutes of it and you're not going to like it, and then I'm just going to show you the 5 minutes of cutscenes.
Yes. But maybe...
So when you say you're excited to play Kingdom Hearts again, I don't think there is any playing Kingdom Hearts anyway. I think we did it. We did all of it that I can reasonably foresee as like actively playing.
Now, do you see a universe in which that I do end up just playing Melody of Memory, but we just play it on the lowest difficulty?
Maybe, yeah. Honestly, the way I see rhythm games is I actually find the easy difficulties like really boring. Skip.
Oh, thank you.
I think they like easy difficulties in rhythm games actively make the game not fun, because the whole point of it is to like be doing inputs like to the beat, and when you're doing less inputs it feels less like to the beat and like you're just hitting the button sometimes.
I see. Is that at least a difficulty that I can like dial in over, like I can change it on the fly? Because that would be ideal for me just to figure out
every song
I pick.
No, so it's not just every song you pick, but every song has its own like difficulties and stuff. Like, and they tell you like a number of like how difficult it is overall. So it could be like, I select simple and clean, right? But the medium difficulty of it ranks at a 7, but the easy difficulty ranks it as a 5. But then like some other song that might be really simple.
Oh, like maybe like the swing remix of Dearly Beloved or something.
Might be, its medium is a 5. At the same level of the easy of simple and clean, right?
Got it. So
but then its easy might be a 3. So when you play it, I do recommend giving it a chance and seeing if you can find that number of difficulty that sits right for you. And then, you know, as you play and get more comfortable, you know, playing around with the difficulty more, and maybe this could be your gateway into liking rhythm games a little bit more.
Which is possible. Like, I don't inherently hate the concept of rhythm games or anything like that. I'm just generally not great at them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that...
I personally think Melody of Memory is a really good gateway rhythm game because it plays a little differently than most of them. In
a way that's like good. Or like
Yeah,
probably good for a beginner.
yeah, like it'll get you into the groove of it, and then you can branch from there. So I do see a world. It's just it's up to your own like patience and like wanting to do it and like wanting to engage with it and stuff. So it's one of those like it really just depends like when we get there, on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because especially like so much of gaming like that, especially the genres you're not like comfortable with, so much of it is like right place at right time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know there's plenty of games where like I just bounced off of them at first and then played them later and it's like, oh yeah, no, this.
I mean, Xenoblade was that way for me. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was a game that I hated the first 2 times I tried to play it, and the third time I played it, I just fell in total love with the game, to the point that it is now in my top 5 favorite games ever. Mm-hmm. So clearly, like, it was just like...
So it could be that like rhythm games are like that, like
it's just the wrong place.
The one that like finally gets you into it, because that's how I was with the Dark Souls games. I played Dark Souls 1, wasn't a fan of it at first, and then tried to play Bloodborne, also wasn't a fan of it, and it's like, okay, maybe this series isn't for me. And then randomly, let's skip. Later on, I went and played Bloodborne again, and then just something clicked. And like I knew I was in the groove when like I fought Gascoigne. Like I think as my first boss, like I didn't kill was it the Cleric Beast?
Yeah, the Cleric Beast is the other option. Which if you beat the Cleric Beast, you still have to fight Gascoigne anyway.
Yes, but like normally people do Cleric Beast first because it's like a way easier fight.
Oh yeah.
Than Gascoigne. But I think I just like did Gascoigne first again and just got it and parried like everything that he did. And like completely dumpstered him. And so from that point on, I was like, okay, maybe I do like this series a little bit. And then when like the Demon Souls remake that came out, I was like, let me try this, and then I played the entire series and loved it.
I am shocked that Demon Souls resonated with you like that, because to this day, while I absolutely adore the series, I still can't play at least Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
they're still just a little too obtuse in terms of.
That being said, I do actively dislike Dark Souls 2. I think it has some cool gameplay mechanics, but so much of its design is just so annoying.
It's just like it's anti-player in a lot of ways. Like
it's one of those games that actively makes me think it doesn't want to be there.
Again, not trying to interrupt, but a Ghost of Tsushima standalone sequel just got announced.
I guess that was one thing we didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about the State of Play, which we did watch like right before this.
Yeah, we watched the State of Play. I guess the reason we didn't talk about it is because
it was largely uneventful.
What you just described is the only thing. Oh, no. So one thing that is cool about it though is they announced the DLC level that had been announced for Sonic X Shadow Generations is going to be a movie tie-in level where you play as Keanu Reeves' Shadow the Hedgehog, which is crazy. And I'm so happy that that's a thing that exists.
I've wanted nothing more in my life than to play as Keanu Reeves'
Shadow the
Hedgehog.
It's so cool. Like, we're in a weird time of video gaming where like we're getting a lot more movie adaptations,
but they don't suck in the way that now that being said, we did also get a trailer for the Minecraft movie, and I think we all know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, it doesn't inspire joy.
It does not spark joy.
The thing that I know you got the cannon.
Oh wait, never mind. You didn't lose a That's a cool sequence. Sorry, just a thought of like.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, it's because it's Donkey Kong.
Well, I
Donkey
just
Kong's
meant like it's
good.
Donkey and Diddy fighting like bullet bills from each side. That's just a good sequence in general.
So we're at an interesting point where we're getting these movie adaptations that, like you said, don't suck. But I think more interestingly, open themselves up to interesting tie-in games, and like we're almost in this weird meta.
Again, with the God Rays, it's actually like
It's a whole like signifier.
it actually they even go out of the way for it. Anyway, sorry.
I think it's interesting. Like we've already crossed that threshold a little bit back when they did the Ratchet and Clank movie, because you do have the game that came out, which the tagline of the game is the game based on the movie based on the game.
That's silly.
So I think it's interesting that we can get these movie adaptation tie-in game or like game adaptations. Like we're going like back in full circle. And I think it could be really interesting to see if maybe they try to do that in the future with like more Sonic stuff. Like one of the big things that I like kind of got the vibe for during Sonic Central is they talked about the Sonic 3 movie a little bit, and it kind of like it sounded like this is still just the beginning. Like
Of what? Sonic
of
as
the,
like a
the
media-
Sonic, yeah, like the Sonic, you know,
Like
live
TV,
action
live
franchises.
action,
Which, you know, it's cool because like as the movies have gone on, they've adapted more and more of the like actual game source material,
Yeah.
and there's so much with that, with how like storied Sonic is. But I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could do there.
And if they're seeing financial success and everything, and critical success both from this, then there's no reason for them to stop either. It's kind of similar to how I mean, we're getting a Zelda movie whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see. The Mario movie was pretty decent, so
It was, and like to its credit, like it was exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Actually, a little bit better than what I expected it to be.
I am hoping that the second one ends up feeling a little less like kids movie-ish in terms of like its like overall simplicity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. The problem is like Mario as a series isn't very narratively focused. Like I think that's what makes Sonic so good to adapt more of.
It is a lot more narratively focused.
Yeah, like there's so much of Sonic is around the narrative and like the spectacle and stuff that Mario has never really been. Like I think the two most narratively focused, like core Mario games, not talking like RPGs or anything, are like Sunshine and Galaxy, and that's like it. Nothing else really has like a narrative other than like your typical stuff. Which does suck because I really like the direction
Soul
they're
Reaver
starting to go
Remasters.
with.
I can finally play
Yes.
those games, cause the Steam and GOG versions are broken.
I think we were talking about it the other day. We were talking about Legacy of Kain and how you're like, damn, I wish I could play those games. And now here they are, which is pretty neat. Yeah, like overall state of play, I thought was just okay. Nothing like crazy. What I was really wanting out of it was the follow-up to the PS5 Pro presentation where they're like, hey, look at this cool new hardware. Now look at all this cool new stuff you can play on it. And then
And now apparently the cool new stuff you can play on it is Ghost of Yotai. Yotai?
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm bad at pronunciations.
It's the new Ghosts game, and then it's a game you can play on your regular PS5 and will probably run just fine as well.
Yeah. So it's I didn't get what I wanted there.
Second pronunciation is correct.
Yote? Okay.
I said Yotai second.
Yotai second? Okay.
Here. Right, Tai or Tay?
Yeah. But the new Ghost game I am excited about. I thought the first game did a pretty good job of being that next little step for like that type of actiony game. Where it still had like your normal open world kind of feel.
Yeah.
But did a lot of really smart things to kind of move that needle forward.
Stu was telling me that I really do need to play Ghost of Tsushima because it is just...
Tay is insane.
Tay is insane.
Yotai. Okay, so... Interesting. If you do play it, one, I do believe it's on PC.
Oh, is this a stupid run? Nope.
Did it. And two, it does have a multiplayer mode that is like a side mission-based thing, where it's like a looter kind of.
Go on.
Sean, what's your favorite genre of game?
Nothing. I hate all video games.
Okay, it's definitely not platformers.
It's definitely not platformers.
Okay.
No, platformers are the devil's game.
Oh yeah, like Pokemon.
Like Pokemon.
Pokemon's for the devil.
If Pokemon Scarlet and Violet run on the Switch 2, like actual games, I'll play them.
Because I do want them.
I stand by it. If like I have so many games in my life that I need to play. I'm not gonna I have no interest in playing broken ones right now.
Yeah, especially with that kind of idea that there's potential that they'll just run better. Oh yeah, that's the bad door.
Yeah, that's the bad door.
We don't go in that door.
We don't talk about that door.
We are.
We don't talk about that door. Don't think about it. Don't look at it. Don't witness it. Oh, an extra life. We need
When
this.
can I see again? How will I know if the door's on screen or not? to know not to witness it.
I've been meaning to play Tsushima, but may just hold off and wait for Yotai to come to PC, seeing as they aren't direct sequels in any way.
You should still, based on what Stu has told me about Tsushima, and as well as what I've heard about Tsushima in general, you should still play it because it is still a solid. Oh wait, is Tsushima not on Steam?
I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't think... Has Sony done any Epic
It is on Steam.
exclusive things? Yeah, I think... Yeah, they just kind of put their
I've
stuff
been
on
told
Steam.
universally that game is just Ghost of Tsushima is just incredible.
Yeah, if it's like on sale anytime soon, I recommend just playing it. I mean, it's a good game.
Go all the way to the right. Oh wait,
And like when Yotai comes out, it's going to be a fully priced video game. As opposed to like probably the $10 or something you can find Tsushima for.
yeah. How much is Tsushima right now?
Is Tsushima in the room with us? Did that affect the door? I don't remember how this one works.
Yes.
Okay.
We solved it.
We did it.
On Steam it's still currently 60.
All right.
Look at the price charts and stuff.
Hello,
like the
sexy
price
small
history.
excited for the new Zelda game coming out this
Oh
week.
yeah.
Oh hey, hello.
Cole, I have heard you are moving this week, and I'm excited for you and your roommate.
Yes, I'm very excited to hang out with you and your roommate post move, and yes, I am extraordinarily excited for because I've been wanting a new 2D Zelda quite badly. The thing I'm currently debating is I'm planning on streaming on its release day. So do I stream that game, or do I stream a certain Lego set that's in the corner of this room instead? Or do I, continue the game I'm actually supposed to be playing?
So, Here's the problem I have, right? I think.
obsolete.
Oh, shit.
Yes sir, I'll be back soon baby, excited to hang with you gamers soon.
Hell yeah, gamers unite.
Gamers.
So
Actually, don't ever call me a gamer ever again.
gamer.
I never want to be called a gamer. I don't care how many video games I play.
He's a
Don't
little gamer. That's exactly what a gamer would
don't
say,
lump
Sean.
me in with that group. I'm not part of that group.
Sean, what are you doing right now?
I don't care what I'm doing right now. You know what I
So-
have in common with the Nazis? I breathe. And so did they.
That's crazy.
I have no
Are
idea.
you saying? So, here's my opinion
Yeah.
on
Time
the
to
stream
cancel
situation
Sean.
Thursday. It's been time. So, I think for sure you do not stream the new video game with a moderation team that is probably not going to be there because they will be actively playing said video game or will be preoccupied doing other things.
That is an extraordinarily good point. That
Because
if I don't have you,
You definitely 100% have the real chance to be completely spoiled by just someone coming in and going, hey, have you done this yet?
yeah,
And you probably don't want that.
I almost certainly don't want that. You are absolutely correct. At least on that Thursday, I should not.
You should not stream that game at all
And I won't be able to
until
save
you get to it in the Zelda-thon.
Until I get to the Zelda-thon, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's safe to stream it at all for your first playthrough. Aside from that, though, your other two options, building the Lego set could be fun.
Of course, I
It's
will.
not moving the needle on said Zelda-thon, technically, I guess.
I mean, I will do it on stream at some point.
Yeah,
At this
as
point.
part of the.
As part of it, but
Yeah.
it is moving the needle forward, but it's not moving the needle forward in terms of things I originally committed to.
Yeah,
it's just
that's fair.
they continue to release properties within this franchise.
I think no matter what, though, you still. I think either of those two options are safer. I think what I would personally do is I think building the Lego set will take you less time to do. And so you have still committed to a stream on Thursday, but you're not doing the full stream time, and thus you can then get back to playing Echo Superstar.
That is true as well. Because I mean, what I would be doing on Thursday would be Arbiter's Grounds, basically.
Yeah.
And side stuff in Twilight Princess, which is not a bad thing to be doing either.
No, but I think honestly, like,
Have you done the Lego set already?
I don't have the Lego set.
Oh.
I'm not cool and have money.
Oh yeah, well, there's that.
As discussed before stream, I now have money again.
I'm glad
which is-
other people are excited for the new Zelda game because I know not as many are. I'm just excited for a new take on Zelda, and it seems more filled with puzzles, which is what's been missing from the last few. I also love the Link's Awakening remake, so I'm glad they kinda went that route art style and feel wise.
Yeah, I think anyone who isn't excited for it will probably be excited once it comes out and people are raving about it. I know, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears kind of like created
This
a
guy gets
new
it.
Zelda audience. Because, like, I mean, those games sold astronomically compared to previous series sales. Like, guaranteed, there are Zelda fans out there now who are not fans of what people classify as typical Zelda games, which is pretty interesting. So I could see how
100%.
you know, there's like probably a little bit of a disconnect there now. But I'm really curious to see, because this one seems like, from trailers, that it's taking the philosophy of giving you that open-ended creativity that the previous two games have had, but in what is hopefully a more structured format, like you described and are wanting. And this could be that in-between, gateway drug to these like new Zelda fans into the whole series proper.
Yeah, basically, I mean, like, because they're Zelda games have worked a very specific way since A Link to the Past, really.
Yeah, everything has been off of that same kind of feel.
And really, like, it was only until Breath of the Wild and Tears, obviously, where they fundamentally changed it. I'm very interested to see how because, I mean, Tears was a step in the right direction. It just wasn't as big of a step as a lot of people wanted.
Not at all, no. Well, and I think
specifically in the dungeon design and the puzzle perspective. In terms of like being a sandbox, Tears is an objectively better game than Breath of the Wild ever was.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. Like I am excited for the next 3D Zelda game just to kind of see like how they'll try to push that needle forward more in that newer format. But I am again really excited just to see them do literally anything new 2D Zelda wise. We haven't had what feels like a more fresh 2D Zelda in a very, very long time.
Because the last take on it was
the last truly new Zelda
was Link Between Worlds.
No. Link Between Worlds is still so based on Link to the Past's identity. The last truly new one was Spirit Tracks.
Oh, you're so...
It's been a
Or
really...
Phantom Hourglass.
No, Spirit Tracks is after Phantom Hourglass.
No, but what I'm saying is that Phantom Hourglass would have... I see what you... I guess I see.
Like, the last game... Like, the last 2D... Like, we haven't had a truly, like, new 2D Zelda game in a very long time. Because everything past that has either been based on the past, like, Link Between Worlds. Which I still really love Link Between Worlds.
And that's a big thing. I'm really hoping that they
and then, we got
from.
the Link's Awakening remake.
I really hope they do pull from A Link Between Worlds as well. In terms of some amount of inspiration, but just not like the parts that are just like the newer, like there were ideas in Link Between Worlds that I guess would then evolve into Breath of the Wild. Now I'm thinking about it.
A little bit, yeah. Like it kind of has that more open-ended, like choose how you want to engage with the game kind of feel. I still think Breath of the Wild was like so fundamentally different because it's like here's sandbox Zelda versus like more
traditional,
structured, linear Zelda. Yeah, for me, it's really interesting. Like the one thing why I'm really excited for the next Zelda thing is I kind of want to see how they move that needle, because for me, Breath of the Wild felt like a cohesive new vision, and I think Tears almost felt like a kind of side grade because it's still basing its identity on Breath of the Wild, but like doesn't seem interested in tying that back in, other than just being like a Tears almost feels like more spiritual successor than like true like narrative successor.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not.
Which is kind of interesting. Like even the world, like it doesn't feel like it was super designed for a lot of like the tier stuff, other than like I think the underground feels, kind of like built around the sandboxy stuff of like, they give you lots of outposts to make little vehicles for, and it's like a more open-ended, just, navigate this way however you want kind of area. Same with the islands a little bit.
Yeah.
Focusing more on the aerial movement. But like the overground, I never really felt like, because it's just based on the Breath of the Wild map, I never really got that feel of like, this was designed with this in mind. It was more so just like, oh yeah, this is here, this is like a different way to traverse something I'm already familiar with.
I'm actively holding back from seething in chat.
I know.
You know all my views.
But yeah, so overall, again, excited to kind of see like how they try to do this like next fully different Zelda in that sandbox. So I think Tears of the Kingdom was held back by being a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Instead of being its own unique thing.
I would have genuinely, granted, they would not. At this point, they would have not had the budget for it. For that game would never have come out. But I do wish that they had fully divorced it and made it its own like separate map with the same thing, like with the same like powers and stuff and everything. I thought that worked really. Damn it, it's side content. We can't be doing this.
It's okay, I got a trophy. The dopamine.
I do wish that they just had completely gone away from the current, like the previous map, because I do feel like using the previous map, which I know was a cost-saving method, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It was absolutely a cost-saving method, but it was.
It is really interesting. I'd love to see the like over/under around how much that saved, because that game still took like a really long time to come out.
Apparently, the development hell that it was in, from at least some of the GDC talks that I've listened to about it, from which is some of the only official material you're realistically going to get. Was that a lot of the development hell for Tears of the Kingdom was basically them realizing over and over and over and over and over again that the way to make the sandbox work is to make everything a physics object.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that was like the weird overhead of having to reuse things. And like almost having to convert that stuff that wasn't built from the ground up, that like those ideas in mind.
Yeah.
But like, now that they have those lessons learned too, I'm sure the next game will probably be easier to develop, because now they've gotten their feet wet twice in this kind of open world thing.
I'm hoping that the smaller scope of just the fact that this is a 2D game, right?
Oh yeah.
Will help a lot with its
like putting more emphasis back on like some of the more puzzly elements. Like so for me,
at the bare minimum, we can guarantee we're not getting a world we've seen before. We know that, which that alone is one of that was one of my main criticisms of Tears right now. So
one thing I thought was interesting about that though is that the world almost seems like remixed a little bit from like the initial trailers. Because when they pan out from Hyrule Castle, the geography on the right looks exactly how outside Hyrule Castle looks in Link to the Past. So I was really worried. It's like, oh my god, are we reusing the Link to the Past map again?
I did hear about that was like a thing people were worried about. But then in the subsequent trailers, they very much proved that this is not that world.
Yeah, they panned out, and it basically like. It's like any other Zelda game where they have references to like those same kind of like notable landmarks and stuff. Like, there's spectacle rocks throughout the series. There's, a Death Mountain, that kind of thing.
Of course.
So that got me more excited. Also, like, someone panned out the map and it was like, here's the size of the Link to the Past map. And then you basically do like another giant chunk border around all of it. And it's like, and now here's this map. Like, this map, even if it was just that map, it's like extended.
Yeah, it's like that same thing, that same gimmick that happened in when they did the Breath of the Wild at E3, and they let people just like roam loose on the Great Plateau, and at the time we thought it was like, oh wow, this world's pretty big.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this Great Plateau.
And then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, let's zoom out. No, keep zooming out.
Yeah.
No, keep zooming out.
Yeah, the Great Plateau is only like a 12th of the map, if that.
If that. And so, yeah, not to say that obviously the whole map was meaningful, but you get what I mean. Like, it was still crazy.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping for, and what I'm really curious to see with this game, is I think my idea for how you marry the overworld exploration being like open-ended with you know, a more structured, like meaningful dungeon design
Yeah.
is like for Tears. One thing I would have loved for Tears is I would have loved if the building mechanics were just Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. Where instead of like, you know, getting like a sage ability or something at the end of every dungeon, what if you just got some building component that fundamentally changes how you build contraptions?
Which is how this game works. Like, or maybe
How, that's what I'm wanting to see with Echoes of Wisdom. Like, I'm hoping that the main like big thing you get from a dungeon is like, hey, here's this cool thing you can copy. Here's a dungeon based around that thing. Oh, I should have had that.
It's fine.
And then, you know, now you have this new tool. Like, you know, in the trailer they showed off her just like casually getting water. I was like, holy shit, water as a thing you can just plop down seems like a crazy thing to just give you. And so I'm hoping that is like tied to a dungeon or something like more proper. And that's like the whole dungeon's gimmick is, hey, you have water, here's how you can use it. Cool, now go back in the world and like use it as just part of your arsenal.
I am very curious to see how they end up handling that. It's really so much of the game for me is going to depend on how does that echo ability work in terms of gaining, like, because like in terms of gaining new echoes. Mm-hmm. Like, are you gaining echoes through specific instances, or is it like something more? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope, like, what I would want out of a game like that is something a little more structured of, like, hey, you can navigate this world however you want using your tool bag. And then the big notable things we're going to give you are just more tools for your tool bag. Because I think that just feels really good.
Yeah, like, or just unlocks in general are just tools for your tool bag. And then some of those tools are more revolutionary than others. And those revolutionary ones are going to be the ones you will like, more typically find in a dungeon setting.
Exactly. And I think, you know, Tears could have really done that. Because I think if they had... Like, I think that's the interesting part I have with Tears. Is it... Again, it doesn't feel cohesive when it comes to, like, its building mechanics. Because I feel like the building mechanics are there. But I don't feel that gameplay loop of it, like, constantly going back to it. Other than, like, the shrines a little bit. Where, like, you know, a shrine will be like, here's how you use the spike.
Yeah.
But it's not like you unlock the spike for doing that thing. It's just like, oh, okay, if I run across the spike, I guess now I can go use it conditionally or something.
Yeah. So here's hoping. At the very least, if it's not that way, then as long as they have a way to make it so the dungeons feel more rewarding than they did in either Breath of the Wild or Tears, then I'll ultimately be fine. I thought I still stand by the fact that I liked the theming of the Tears dungeons more, but I think the actual dungeon design of Breath of the Wild was probably.
I was talking about this today. I think I like actively playing the Divine Beasts more.
Well, it's because the Divine Beasts...
They're little puzzle boxes.
Yeah,
really cool.
Well, the thing that makes a Zelda game in terms of its dungeons is, at least for the 3D Zelda games, is the best dungeons are always ones where you have to consider the dungeon as a space that you are in, and then and now have to navigate around and potentially manipulate as a space, and that's something that I think that
God Race.
Yeah. I think that's a thing that Breath of the Wild actually did fairly well. It's just the theming of it was terrible.
They weren't memorable, like, thematically amongst themselves, which was sad.
But there are but it was a... Oh, shoot, that was the one cutscene I probably shouldn't have skipped because of our legal obligation.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Sword? That's what we skipped. Sword.
And granted, I'm not saying that obviously by me praising the Breath of the Wild dungeons, you know, I'm not saying that they are without fault by any stretch of the imagination. They are.
I think they're still like
some of the weakest dungeons in the franchise.
They're still. They feel pretty. like they're not fully fleshed out. Like they feel like a third or fourth of like a normal dungeon in terms of like depth. But I think I liked how they like worked a lot more. But again, I think like, you know, imagine if the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom were like, all right, here's the Goron mines. Now we're gonna give you just like a minecart or something as like your main new thing you can build with.
Dopamine, hold on.
Whoa.
Yes.
Dopamine. I'm gonna take this even though I have 1%.
Whoa, dopamine.
Whoa, look at all the healing.
Wow, that's get boomeranged immediately.
I think I took that.
I mean, Echoes of Wisdom has a lot of potential, and it being a 2D game actually it's honestly gives me more hope, because then it has to solve problems differently than the 3D games do. Like it can't just rely on the way that some of the 3D games, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, have done. It has to solve them a little bit differently.
You know what I'm also excited about?
Huh.
I hope to God that we get like a full Zelda game with like a full comprehensive new soundtrack for once. I feel like it's been a while. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears have music.
They have music, and the music they do have is great.
Is very good.
But they do 100% try to like keep the music down to they try to lower the music's involvement in the game.
Exactly. It feels, and you know, for Breath of the Wild and everything, and you know with some of what Tears is doing too, you know, it makes sense. Like for Breath of the Wild, I think the sound design worked really, really well again for like that cohesion. You know, you are in a like, you know, the music feels a little more empty because the world is a little more empty. You know, it was ravaged by a great calamity and stuff. And I mean, you know, it just plays into that like environmental.
Sakurai actually talks about this in one of his game design videos. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
No, I need to honestly go through.
He actually talked about like one of the things that game design has to consider when picking a soundtrack is like the not only the vibe you're going for the world, but also like how busy the world is and how much active thinking you're doing, and then you can choose a soundtrack based, you know, you can choose whether or not you want a soundtrack to be bombastic or not based on that, because there can be considerations for modern games where there's a lot more going on them, so that you do want to have a less intrusive soundtrack.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are also games like, obviously, I'm just going to throw Persona or Hi-Fi Rush or something like that, where the soundtrack is more of a focus because there is less going on in the moment-to-moment gameplay. But
you want it to feel like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And the music, like, definitely plays a huge part. One thing I want to do, if I like were actually into YouTubing, I would love to make a YouTube series where I just play games noteworthy for their soundtracks and just turn on the music and then play and see how eerie and like dead the worlds in games feel, not having that like critical part of the game.
You know that video, what is it, Floating and Spinning? I think I've showed it to you before.
Maybe, I don't recall it right now based on the name.
I will, between this level and the next, I will pull up the first 10 seconds of it on stream.
But like, I want to do that because I feel like...
Because I think you could, I mean, hell, I'll help you make it. I'll make, in the style of the video I'm about to show you, I will gladly make that video.
Okay, good.
Because in the style that I'm thinking of, it's achievable. Come on.
Oh, okay. Try. I'm going to describe a place, and I want you to tell me if you know what I'm talking about. In Ocarina of Time, you go to the Lost Woods, and you've got the maze, and the lead up to Saria. The same big zone where there's the guy hitting the ground and causing earthquakes, right? Right before you get to Saria.
Yes, I know precisely where you're talking about.
When you fight the two wolves at the very beginning in a little square, have you ever bombed the middle and gone in the cave?
I have.
Okay. So you understand what I mean when I say that area looks weird.
I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull it up
Yes.
because I don't think you understand how bizarre that specific room looks. It looks unfinished. Like it looks like a place you should not be standing in.
All right, let me save, and then I'm going to pull up that video real quick, and then
Here, let me find.
because I need to pull my the one I'm pulling up, I need to put it on stream.
Yeah, let me find. Let me see if I can find a time. Lost Woods, weird secret cave. Yeah, look.
Oh,
This is a real location in Ocarina of Time.
I forgot that's what that looked like on the inside of it. Yeah,
Well,
that
it's
does
weird
look
because
fit.
it's got a weird stone like temple.
Yeah.
roof.
Send me that screenshot on Discord. I'm gonna open.
Yeah. The YouTube channel Annie Austin has
I do need to watch a lot more of Annie Austin stuff.
he has one of his videos on Ocarina of Time specifically highlights that room, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know this was a room that existed and looked like this. Floating. Oh yeah, I know this video.
play only a little bit of this video just for the sake of the stream.
Yeah, just so
OMG,
people
I
have
just
the
discovered
context.
his channel the other day too, LMAO.
It's so good. I am so here for that specific brand of weird introspection into video games. Wow. All these behind the scenes.
Just wanted to.
And
And
then
there
you
we
just
go.
swap to it, yeah.
I just wanted a preview. That's my like way of doing previews.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That
so
works.
this video is fantastic, by the way. It's just examples, no dialogue, no nothing.
Uh-huh.
Just examples of floating and spinning with the respective soundtrack and everything. So this is what I mean. It's like if we can come up with something like of this level of engagement, I could totally edit a video
Yeah.
like this.
That'd be fun.
Of like, yeah, it could literally just be like Hi-Fi Rush gameplay without like with the sound effects but without the music,
Yeah.
or like
Well, like, I don't even want it that. Like, I think that's, like, the obvious stuff to do. Of the, like, I'm going to play a rhythm game without the music. No, I want to play, like, a level
well this
of
would be great.
Banjo-Kazooie
Like
with no music.
with no music.
Just sound effect. Like, there's still sounds. I've just specifically turned off the music. Where, like, you know, so much of the look and feel of Banjo is its soundtrack.
It really is.
And when you just take that away, it's just Banjo going, go, huh? And that's it.
I love the concept so
But
much.
that
though.
the concept was basically like inspired by an Annie Austin video talking about Banjo-Kazooie, where I like never quite understood what makes like that game's aesthetic so different.
Right.
And it's because like so much of Banjo-Kazooie feels like it's like fake, like not real places you're going to.
Of Banjo, yes.
Yeah, like so much of it feels like weird indoor, like abandoned amusement park levels. Oh yeah. Yeah, the image is small, so it's kind of hard to...
I'm just gonna do this. And then
Just gonna pull it in. This is the weird room in Ocarina of Time that I saw in one of these videos.
I named it right there.
Look at that thing.
And look at this bizarre room.
Like, it looks like a place you shouldn't be in.
Like this, you're right. You're absolutely right. This looks fake.
Yeah, but that's like a real room you can go to today.
Like what?
So when I saw this video though, I immediately thought like, damn, I need to boot up Ocarina of Time 3D and see how this room looks inside of it.
Oh, in 3D, that's a good point.
Because I wonder if they touched up this room to look like a normal cave.
I don't know. That's a seriously good question. I genuinely don't know. Okay. All right. Let's try to blitz through at least a couple more.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
just keep going.
I've
Full
got
steam ahead.
I got energy.
I have an amount of energy.
I have an amount of energy right now. We are going through this so fast.
Yes.
That is a factual statement.
Though
I know if I was playing it as a kid and saw that heck, even now I'd probably be so upset.
right?
Yeah.
It feels like one of those rooms that would be like the talk of the playground. Hell yeah.
I forgot that I adjusted it down for the music of the other video.
Gotcha.
It's just so out of place.
Mm-hmm. I think we go up here. No, we go up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares about exploration? We're here to speedrun.
Yeah, we're moving. We're schmoving right now.
Skip.
All right.
So about your trip.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
only talked about the like cool little things.
So
I want to talk about some of the bigger noteworthy things.
yeah, I do want to talk about some of the bigger noteworthy things. So one of the highlights of so a few things. So I stayed in London for a week, but we went to Cambridge. We went to Dover. We did a tour of the Scottish Highlands. I stayed in Edinburgh for about a week. We went to Glasgow as like as a day trip, although we didn't stay super long in Glasgow.
But you just got there, walked around.
We got there, walked around for a bit, but we were physically dead at that point because of what happened in Dover, which I will get into what happened in Dover.
What happened in Dover?
But I want to talk about some of the other places first, because Dover's a
whole thing.
Dover's a whole thing.
It's a whole topic in and of itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so in Cambridge, we went. I think it's called punting, which is where they have you get on the boat and they use the big stick to move the boat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big stick.
And so we did that in Cambridge, and that was great, genuinely. Where did that key?
Oh, dude, I chucked that thing.
Where?
Oh, it disappeared. It's back up there.
Okay. But we did that, and it was absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
And whatnot. We actually had an overall great luck with the weather.
That's good. I know I've heard vaguely that it's pretty rainy over there.
Very much so. And actually, that's there's a thing about the rain that in the UK that I did not realize, and that it the best way I can describe it is that it might not rain, like it might. Oh, that's just secrets.
Goody.
We don't care about goodies
Back
here.
over here. I don't remember what forward.
I don't know either, man.
We'll find it.
Oh wait,
Arrow.
arrow.
This way. Thank you, video game.
But the rain there, it can very often, it might like seem like it's only misting, but the way it mists there, it actually will permeate and make you you will get soaked faster.
Oh, okay.
Because of just like the way it.
It's almost like a weird mist.
Yeah.
Or instead of big drops that are hitting you sporadically, it's
you're
a blanket.
You're getting more of a blanket approach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you don't expect it nearly as much, but you also just deal with it. Which is not the end of the world. So yeah, Cambridge was absolutely gorgeous. We had a good time. We had a pretty good time there. Then I guess I can talk about Dover. Dover was so there were two things we wanted to do on the day we went when we went to Dover. We wanted to go to Dover Castle.
Okay.
And we wanted to go to the White Cliffs of Dover, infamously known.
Oh yeah.
Or famously known, like whatever. So we wanted to go to both of those things, and we did, but to two different degrees of success.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was nice and
sounds like our Universal trip.
Well, so it went. So the irony is that like that day is both the best and worst day of the trip.
Okay.
The same day. Unlike for us, where we have a very clear worst day of the trip. Was the Universal day, but then the best day is a lot more debatable overall. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sorry, I'm just realizing we're fighting Rob. So for Dover, so in the morning we made it to Dover and we walked through the actual town that was there and made our way over to Dover Castle, which is at the top of a hill. Of course it is. And we went through some of like the tunnels that were underneath it that have been converted into like a museum. And they were cute. It was as expected, it's war stories because that's what it is. And it's very traditional, like, you go to a historical site that has been converted to a museum, and so often you're in the spot that things happen, but realistically you're in a museum, right? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they have like the panels and all of that. And so that was pretty traditional, but it was fine. And they have the different ways to like make it so that you are engaging with it while they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was this really cute library, or not library, like secondhand bookstore or whatever they had in it. That was bizarre because there was nobody manning it. It was just a tip jar, and it had the prices on the wall, and it was like, okay,
just the honor system.
Yep. And it was fantastic. I did not purchase a book, but I did leave one of my American dollars there because I thought it would be funny. Okay, but so then we actually went up to Dover Castle proper, which was sitting above those tunnels, and that was one of the coolest museum experiences that I had actually ever had. Because what they did is, instead of turning it into a museum, they just
I did not purchase a book, but instead I stole their entire stuff.
Perfect. Skip.
They just restored the room's furniture to the way it was supposed to be, and they just let you loose.
That's cool. So you're like a moment in time.
You're just in a moment in time.
I like that.
And so you would walk into like the children's room, and it's literally just that moment in time, and you can see like toys on the toys off to the side and all that stuff. And that's it. And it was kind of beautiful in its own. She really.
I tried. I wanted the cheese that so bad.
It was just beautiful in that way. I had not seen like museums really do like a show don't tell approach like that.
Well, the castle we went to in Japan was a lot like that.
It was a lot like that.
And I liked how that one did it, where it had like the full like puppetry and everything. Mm-hmm. Of the like, here's them doing a work council meeting, and here's them like doing this, that, and the other in these different rooms.
And then they also left rooms of it purposefully not put back together.
Yeah.
So that way you could see how it eroded. to where it was
yeah.
today as well.
That's cool.
And it was like a castle in the traditional sense. There were spiral staircases that went up to the top, which we were able to go up to the top and had some of the most beautiful sights in the whole trip.
Cool.
It was a very cool castle. I also got to go into one of the oldest churches, and that's still active.
Yeah, that's cool.
At least, you know, for obviously for, you know, the old in England, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. It was incredibly cool. And then the second half of the day.
So that was the good half of the day?
That was the good half of the day. It was great. I was elated. I was so happy. I felt great. The weather
but then Dover
was
happened.
fine. And then the second half of Dover happened, because that was the first half of Dover.
Yeah.
Then
the true colors of Dover showed.
The weather, so we made it back down, and the weather started getting a little less than great, but still not horrid. But and whatnot, and we were, but we wanted to see the White Cliffs of Dover. That was the plan, and we were still determined to go. The unfortunate thing is there is no public transportation that takes you up to the White Cliffs of Dover.
Okay.
So you're just you like Dover is actually a fairly small town, all things considered, and so you are expected to do about a 20 to 30 minute hike up to where the Cliffs of Dover begins, which is not the end of the world if the weather was not getting progressively worse.
Okay. Got it.
And so the weather was getting a lot worse.
Here, you can pick them.
Oh yeah. I don't care.
Give me pit.
The weather was getting like because it's that rain I was talking about where it permeates and makes and you get complete, and then it's you're climbing up. You
didn't have any umbrellas or anything?
Well, it didn't matter because the wind was really bad too.
Got it. Okay.
So it didn't matter if you had an umbrella or not because it would just hit all sides.
Yeah. You're surrounded.
We were surrounded. We were getting very cold very quickly. There was no way public transportation, and we checked for Ubers. There were and like ride sharing in general across multiple apps. Nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing was available. So it was getting pretty bad pretty quickly. But the group was, because the White Cliffs of Dover was like on the top, like one of the top things of my list, and on my bucket list, frankly, to go and experience the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, so it's like we're doing this no matter what.
It was that vibe until we got. So we made it. We did make it to the White Cliffs of Dover. We made it to the top, where it actually began proper, and in which you would experience like that section of it, and. It was at that point that looking at the rest of my party and looking at the reality of the situation of the weather getting even worse and the wind getting like bad enough that I probably would have come back like definitely without question sick.
Yeah.
At this point, I probably was already going to get sick, but it was going to become like a problem. Mm-hmm. We elected to make the unfortunate decision that we needed to head back because it was at least a 30-minute hike back.
Yeah, so you got there and immediately like, okay, cool, bye.
We got there. We got to like not just like there's a sign that says you're at it. We got past it. We got to where the trailhead for the whole thing began, like properly began, and you could still see the picturesque view of it. I have pictures of like it's like you would look at the pictures and you would be like, yeah, you were definitely there.
Just didn't get to like.
I didn't get to
fully, like you would have wanted.
There was a specific point where not super far into the trail, but far enough that we didn't end up doing it, where you would take you down to a beach at the bottom of the Cliffs of Dover, so you could see like
you could get a sense for that scale.
You can get a sense for that scale in a way that wasn't that's not prevalent from the top, because you're basically like you start from the top.
That's how I felt Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
I have been to the Grand Canyon.
It
Yes.
feels fake
It does
when
feel
you're
fake.
on the Grand Canyon. And I feel like I would appreciate the Grand Canyon more being at the bottom of the canyon than at the top of the canyon. Because looking at it from down on, it just looks like a picture someone put there, like a texture in a video game. Like it doesn't look like a real three-dimensional space.
Yeah.
I feel like I just needed that. Like, it's weird. You would think that being on the top, you get a better sense of scale because you're high up, but you actually get like a less of a sense of scale.
Yeah, it's really interesting that it's kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that too, where it was like it didn't feel real, and ultimately I do like it was worth it getting as far as we ultimately did. It was still worth it. I still feel like, you know,
Feel fulfilled.
I feel fulfilled at least enough. I do have a new bucket list item to go do it properly now.
Yeah.
But
Got
I
one
but
on
I
a good day of
hadn't
weather.
but I had met my original.
Like you were there.
I was there,
And you have photos.
I have photos. I was
Got
there,
it.
and I did have that like wow moment of holy crap, like
Yeah.
this is a real space.
Like I understand the hype.
But yes, I ultimately, that was the low point of.
I thought we were speedrunning.
I thought we were too, and I was stupid. But that was a heartbreaking like thing for me specifically because that was such a big thing for me.
Yeah.
That we ended up not being able to get to it proper. I think
To me, yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's pretty similar to like a Universal thing. Like we got to go to Nintendo World, but like only kinda. You know, we didn't get to experience Nintendo World, right?
no, yeah, it just wasn't really. No, granted, the difference, I guess, a little bit was that I don't know. I was still let down a little bit, just in general. But I think think I'm letting my feelings. That day was way longer than this day was.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the longest days of my entire life.
Just ticking down, waiting until we could finally enter Nintendo World.
Yeah. When I say longest day, to be clear for the people who are listening on stream to this, because this is Stuart and I are sharing an understanding right now that might not be obvious. When I say the longest day, I mean in the literal sense.
Yeah.
It felt very long. I'm not saying it in the sense of like, you know, like a. I'm trying not to say this is like a place of privilege. Like, it was one of the worst days of my life, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm literally trying. Like, I mean it so literally. We were there doing nothing for so long, and we were all so exhausted that it was just it felt very long and was painful in that way.
So you don't mean it literally. You mean it metaphorically.
No, I do mean it literally because we sat there. We didn't do anything for like 12 hours.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's like being put into like a classroom
To
in
put it in
detention.
perspective, we are now at where we ended last session in this easy playthrough.
We are.
We ended it at that last cutscene, and we started here doing the.
Well, at the rate we're going, is our goal just to get back to where we did when we reset, and then
Maybe it's that. It's so hard for me to. See that. Is it 33? Is what it says? Now?
33, yes.
Okay, yeah, we can keep blitzing. We'll see how far we get. I would like to be home or like start heading out around 10-ish.
Yeah, that's fine. We can definitely plan for that. I think we'll be able to get back to where we were. I don't think
I think so.
We were
We've
not.
been pretty quick.
We were not much further than this.
No, not at all.
And at the this feels great by comparison.
This is what I want in a game like this. I want this to feel silly and arcadey.
But anyway, so when on our way down, we started feeling advanced bad. Like it was not like it was getting to the point where had we continued, probably a form, maybe not like full hypothermia, but a form of hypothermia would have set in.
Yeah.
Just because it was just the wind chill was that bad. Like that's what I'm trying to like emphasize, is that wasn't necessarily that the rain was that like coming down that hard. It's the fact that you are so completely and utterly jumped in a pool soaked, and the wind is blowing in all directions and just making it worse. And so we made it back down to Dover, and we just wanted something easy to eat, and so we ended up eating at Nando's, which which Luke has famously really enjoyed and a very big fan of, and it is great. It is fantastic. But if you can get there,
it was cool to know that we just have one nearby.
it is. I'm very curious how similar or different it ultimately is, though, because it's I don't know, the way it looked from the picture that Luke shared, it didn't seem very similar.
Yeah, I know. Zach was saying he wanted to go try it out and compare it.
I very much want to try it and compare it at this point. They had a wrap that was one of Nick's favorite things he ate in the whole trip. Because we basically, apparently Nick learned that he likes wraps.
Okay.
On this trip. And we want to, but I very much want to go and compare it.
I'm glad the trip was a food awakening for him.
I'm so glad. And then, so we ended up at Nando's, had an entire bottle of wine at Nando's.
Nice.
Because that was the vibe at that point.
Oh, yeah. Based on everything discussed.
And then we ended up going to, because we had like an hour train ride back still, and like more, so we still had more we still had to get back, and it was going to take a while. So we ended up going to a clothing store that was in the same shopping center, and we bought clothes to wear, like dry clothes to wear on the train, knowing that even if it got a little bit misted on the way back to the station,
it'd be better than what you had.
It'd be so much better than what we had. And so we bought clothes, and then Zach and Nick actually bought matching tracksuits.
Nice. Like
100% matching tracksuits, and they're adorable. I will. Before you leave, I'll show you a picture because it's cute. They look like they are. They genuinely look like they're like tracksuit mafia.
Okay.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah. That's good.
And so, and then I bought just like some gym shorts and a hoodie because I'm a big guy who needs all long pants to be hemmed.
So,
and I couldn't, and that they just didn't have big guy sizes over there.
So what were some of the other big highlights?
Yeah,
because that was the whole Dover trip.
That was the whole Dover thing. I just that whole story it's in itself. It simultaneously is the best and one of the best and the worst day, which is fascinating in its own way.
So then,
our top of Cambridge. The Scottish Highlands was incredible, breathtaking. Like
I mean I'm a sucker for cool landscapes, and I know that is just that. Like it's just a cool place to look at and be in.
It's got some breathtaking landscapes of just like the way that the landscape is formed over time, and it's got so much green to it that but like still it's very picturesque. It is I guess the best way to put it, and there are a lot of times it just didn't feel real. We had a pretty good tour guide that did a good job at like pulling off and stopping at places to really let us like get out and fully experience it too.
That's nice.
So I was really happy about that. And then one of the places that we ended up stopping was a place called Loch Ness.
Oh, I remember you mentioning it vaguely.
We actually,
the place that the
Loch Ness monster resides.
Yeah, that's cool.
And skip. So I liked it a lot.
Sean, skip.
I was working on it.
Ah.
And that's actually where I had my soup arc began. was in Loch Ness.
Okay.
Because I had so basically it's one of those places where, you know, you go into the place and it's this little they have like a little refrigerator thing like that has like whatever desserts they've made for the day.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
they have a menu, but really you get the vibe that if you ask them for literally anything, if they have the ingredients, they would make it for you.
Okay.
It's that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I had a panini with a soup of the day, and that's it. That was the option was a soup of the day. I had no
perfect.
idea what that soup was going to be.
It's just gonna be soup.
It was going to be soup, and I was gonna
hopefully gonna be good.
and I was gonna find out what it was.
Yeah.
That soup was phenomenal. It was
Nice.
it was carrot and coriander, which I ended up remaking here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need soup more often in my life because this is exactly what I needed. Oh,
The one lone Koopa. Look at that guy.
look at him go!
He's strutting.
Wow.
What an asshole. Can I grab him?
No, enemy grabbing is weird in this mode.
I'm taking him with me.
I think you have to throw it. I think he needs to die proper.
See that idiot.
Oh,
Another one. Get the hell out of here.
all right, we're free.
Free to fall.
And so that's what got me on my what I'm now calling Sean's soup arc of my life, where I'm going to make a bunch of different soups, and I'm going to have soup more often.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm having a surreal experience of we did this earlier today.
Uh-huh. So
that was Loch Ness was very pretty in itself, just because it's nestled in the Scottish Highlands, and just the Scottish Highlands in general was a very positive experience. I'm really happy that we did that. Glasgow was kind of uneventful.
okay. It's just a place.
It's a place. It wasn't radically like. There were we ended up going to a museum that had a guy doing a performance on an organ that was built into the museum, like a giant organ. And that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I had the worst meal of the trip.
Perfect.
After that, which was basically I had this. It was salmon. Was it salmon or tuna? I think it was smoked salmon on toast with some egg, like some scrambled eggs on it, which it by itself is not like a crazy concept, right? Mm-hmm. Except the salmon was bad.
Oh.
Like it had gone bad, and I had food poisoning after.
Great.
Which was super cool
And fun.
and fun. So it also still had bone on it, which is something I've never experienced with somebody like making
Serving
raw
fish,
serving raw fish, is that they generally have that part figured out.
That's good.
So I don't. It was one of the worst meals I had on the trip.
What would you say are your top 3 favorite things you had?
That I ate. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know it sounds like the soup was transformative.
the soup was. I don't. I feel like it's unfair for me to say it's a top 3, but I think I'm gonna say it's a top 3. That
Why
panini
would
was
it be
so
unfair?
good.
I mean, if it was good.
It was just great. It was just what I needed in that moment.
Yeah.
It has the same opinion that I have as Freezy Pops, where Freezy Pops are only good but when you have them in the moment that you need them most.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have them casually, they're just like, oh,
It's
whatever.
like, yeah, this is
You usually
a worse
feel
snow
worse eating them afterwards because it's just like, oh, I just got some sugar and no substance.
cone. So other highlights, things that I ate. We are really We are bulleting our way back.
Oh, yeah.
Other highlights of things that I ate. So the one thing that Great Britain is unfortunately known for is not... They went around the world and gathered a bunch of spices just for them to not use them.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that vaguely, yeah. That
They are...
the food is largely unseasoned.
It's largely unseasoned.
At least to what we do, where we kind of go the other way.
Oh, we
We
over-season.
over-season the hell out of everything.
But so yeah, it was an experience. There were things that didn't need seasoning necessarily that were great, like fish and chips was good. Yeah. Oh, that's something small that I wanted to bring up. They use the terminology of French fries very frequently.
Okay.
Like that wasn't like I expected them to just call it chips all the time. No, not at all. Not even close, actually.
It's interesting.
They actually primarily used fries and only brought chips was more present, but chips was basically their way of saying steak fries.
Okay.
And then
That
fries
makes sense,
was just
yeah.
French fries, which I mean, fair. I get that makes sense. Okay, so an easy highlight of the trip was we went to a few different Italian places, and because one of the people on the trip was please, I can't say this. Okay. We went to a couple different Italian places because one of the people on the trip wanted pasta so badly, and
I wonder who.
so very badly. And so basically, we went and most of the time we went, it was bad. But the last time we went to this little Italian place that was rated really well on Google reviews, and so
I honestly didn't think that would kill you.
We went in, and it had a fun aesthetic where they had like plastic plants hanging from the ceiling where you couldn't see the ceiling. It was just like all vines.
That's cool. I like that.
It's a fun like idea for an aesthetic, and it was one of those places where it was a like stone like wood fire oven. They'll make your pizza, like a personal pizza for you.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. So it was probably some of the best pizza I've had in my life. And the way I knew I was in a good place was that there was a man there in the kitchen, which the kitchen was attached to the dining room. Like you could see everything they were doing. There was a guy who's wearing a backward baseball cap, had a perfect, and I mean perfect, Italian mustache. He was wearing a chef's top and an apron, and some very comfortable slacks and Crocs. And he was looking out over his domain, watching over, making sure that everyone was safe and happy in his domain.
Yeah, and eating damn good food.
And I knew I was in the right spot at that point in time. Pizza I had was great.
Thank you, welcoming Italian man.
Thank you, welcoming Italian man. And then I had I actually ended up getting dessert there because I was so deeply curious. They had a pistachio tiramisu.
Oh, nice.
And it was also some of the best tiramisu I've had in my life, regardless of the inclusion of pistachio. I hate the upbeat of the Earthbound kids.
You gotta get good. You are the projectile train.
And so that was a very good meal. Another really good meal was we found in Edinburgh. We went to the docks, and there was this small pub that we didn't realize at the time its menu was actually like a chain. Because the way that a lot of like pubs work, or like pub chains work there, is they don't have the same name. They just have the same menu.
Oh, interesting.
But they are like a fundamentally different like business. Technically, they're just like franchised out with whatever name that they had previously, and they just borrow the menu of whatever they franchised out.
Okay. Yeah, get him.
Come on, man. There's nothing I can do about this.
You can hit him with the upbeat.
Oh.
Hit him with that upbeat, Sean. Yeah, get him.
Oh.
He fucked off.
He just got bored. Please don't be more. Don't be more.
Is there more?
Oh, it's this.
You can do it. You're not Ivysaur this time. You can move.
Oh,
Go. You're good.
Keep running.
Yeah, fuck the bonus. Yeah.
Yay.
We did it.
Okay.
Door.
All right. And so that place that we ended up at was actually fantastic. We had, we also learned that we need to broaden our horizons when it comes to what chips to use for nachos, because they had like these like thicker, almost pita chips, and they're actually great. Because we ordered nachos there.
That sounds pretty good.
That's a whole thing, by the way. You and I in our current, like where we live right now, I take for granted how good Mexican food is here.
Yeah.
Because it was non-existent in Japan, but in the United Kingdom, it wasn't non-existent, but it was horrendous.
That's good to know.
It was just bad.
I've heard that vaguely, yeah, that like anytime people go out of state or out of the States, they're like, Mexican food, I miss it.
Yeah.
Which is always something funny that you like don't think about.
Like what cuisine is actually like local to here that we don't realize.
Yeah.
Like the American take on Mexican food is because it obviously is the American take on it, right?
That's why it's called Tex-Mex.
Yeah, I had this whole argument though apparently that it is called Tex-Mex, but it's not Tex-Mex. Whatever. They're not here to defend themselves, so I don't care.
Hell yeah. Fuck other people. We hate people here on the stream.
Yeah, we hate people. If you're people, we hate you. Yeah. By the way, all three people who are watching this, we hate you.
Yeah, become not people. Could be anything else other than person.
Yeah, if you can be something else, that'd be cool.
You could be like a cat.
That'd be cool. I would love a cat to watch the stream actually, and to like type on the keyboard. They could manage it.
Yeah.
You don't need thumbs to like praying mantis.
Can't believe you hate me.
Can't believe you.
Believe it. That's what Naruto says.
Let's see here, and then I'm trying to remember the specific meals. I mean, a lot of the pub food was like, it was all right. It was just all right for the most part.
That's sad because I feel like
it wasn't.
When I think of the UK, I think of like pub.
Well, the food was all right. The drinks were great.
Okay.
A thing about like the beers and whatnot, getting them in the UK, like they were fantastic, and they were like a lot of variety.
For alcoholic drinks in the UK, I always think of beer and ale and stuff, and never like
cocktails.
like cocktails and stuff like that.
They have cocktail bars, but it's definitely not a focus.
Yeah, it's not like here where like the cocktail bar experience is like what you're really there for.
Yeah,
at
they
like
have
a bar.
If you go to a pub, that is true. If you go to they do have cocktail bars, like we did.
I know, it's so much better.
They do have cocktail bars that you can go to. I'm the wrong person to ask about a lot of like the cocktail bars and stuff like that, because I don't generally enjoy the majority of cocktails. Because I'm
a big cocktail guy. I can't stand beer or ale or anything like that.
They had a lot of good ciders though. That was like common. That was just as common as well, was to have like a bunch of good ciders alongside like the different beers. And the other thing too is that beers in general and drinks in general in the UK have a lower alcohol volume.
Okay.
Which I thought was really interesting. For me, it was great actually, because I mean I got to try a lot more drinks.
I mean, for me it'd be great because I don't drink often.
So you're
like, I mean, basically everything hits me like hard. Mm-hmm. Like we've talked about, like I get a whiff of caffeine when I'm energized.
Yeah, you are a lightweight when it comes to
like just
that
things
type of stuff.
Just anything affecting me like that.
And
it's the same with like, so when I take like melatonin gummies to like sleep, I don't take a full gummy. I take half a gummy.
Oh wow!
And that makes me drowsy the entire next day.
I've been meaning to actually try melatonin, so that actually might be something I'll be trying either this week or next, because
man, it knocks me out. It's one of those things of like, I still will like wake up in the middle of my sleep.
Yeah.
But the act of getting back to sleep is like easy.
It's like super easy.
Yeah, it's like you're already in the like mid drowsy state when you wake back up.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Again, at least for me.
Is this bonus?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
We'll find out.
I think it's bonus.
Bonus.
It's bonus.
But yeah, that's always for me. I'm curious to hear about how it affects you.
Yeah, I'm very curious as well. I mean, I'm curious both how it affects me in general, but also just because like things affect me differently because of ADD brain anyway. Mm-hmm. And so I'm also curious if that is included in that. I doubt it, because I've heard pretty universally that melatonin doesn't really change for ADD brain, but
yeah, but I mean, there could be like any number of things too that make it like feel different for you than.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see how these tests will bring her in.
I will. I mean, you will know for sure. I'm trying to think. There's a tapas place that we went to that was terrible. That sticks. That's the thing, is that like the bad sticks out a lot more than the good.
What? You finish your statement.
I was gonna mention another bad actually, which was one of the Italian places we went to. Shoot, Conrad, I need you to look up a thing.
The Wiki Master.
Conrad.
Like we actually killed the boss.
It might have said it. I couldn't. I just didn't hear it.
I think it's probably dead. It doesn't matter. I think this is like the last level.
I think we can do one more, because the one more is just a boss fight.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Here.
Yeah.
Skip.
I needed that cutscene to actually remember that.
It's interesting. Our percentage is like lower than it was earlier.
It is lower.
27.
We ended
we're at like 30 something. Yeah, 32.
32, yeah.
Going to the wild. So what?
Well, let's do this, and then we'll know if we're going to the wilds next. Because maybe the percentage is part of that. Okay, yes. Okay, and it is broken. Okay, so Conrad, what is the Japanese or what is the Italian dish that is like fluffy? I think it's like a fluffy bread that you I think it's like a I think it's like a fluffy potato. It does not have cheese on it. It pulls apart fairly easily.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know.
I think it starts with an F.
Yeah, I don't know.
Focaccia, I think, is what my brain is immediately like auto completing to. Focaccia.
Okay.
One of the places we went to, Italian places we went to, it was literally cheese pizza. They gave us cheese pizza.
Nice.
Instead of focaccia, and I ordered
Yeah.
focaccia, and they just gave us cheese pizza.
Good.
All right. The Wilds is the next one, which I don't remember if we finished the Wilds or not.
I don't remember. No, so that we're at basically
Ruined
the exact
Hall.
same way where we just saved and we're at the wild. So it's 32.
Well,
earlier.
no, but there's the Wilds, then there's the Ruined Hall, and then there's the Wilds again. You see?
Oh yeah.
So I think we are here.
So at the 29. So what are we at right now?
We're
Yeah. See, we're at.
so the percentage is about the same.
Yeah. Well, sweet. We basically caught back up to where we started. So
Yeah.
next time should be.
Oh, we should be blitzing at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We'll still be watching cutscenes, so we'll go a little slower, but it will be blitzing comparatively. Like this was. We did everything we did in an hour and a half in 5 minutes. So yeah, the focaccia was a joke. There are lots of cool stuff. I have a lot of stories to tell about this, and I can probably tell a lot more of them maybe on Thursday. Which, speaking of Thursday, I am planning on streaming because I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things. I will either be streaming Twilight Princess or the Lego set. I think Twilight Princess will actually be a lower commitment because that's a very big Lego set. And I will not be able to finish it in one stream unless I do a longer stream. So it's like over 3,000 pieces.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's actually less than 2,000 pieces. 2,500.
It's 2,500 pieces. It's still
You're not going to use all the pieces. Because
that is true. Regardless, I'll do a vibe check day
I
off.
wonder.
The other thing I want
Is there a how long to beat Lego?
that would be
How long
choice.
to make Lego Deku Tree?
But either way, I'll be doing one of those two things on Thursday. I'm going to be trying to stream just more often in general, so I move forward on the franchise. But I'm back. I'm excited to continue playing, and I'm hoping that the Switch 2 will cause games to run better. Because if that's true, then we're definitely playing Hyrule Warriors multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because then it will definitely be playable. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm also going to try to be better about having the VODs up basically next day. So look forward to that. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.